Hello, hello, everyone. How are we all doing? Hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving. If you celebrated it, hope you're having a great Black Friday. Maybe you're watching this from your local mall. Maybe you're just like shopping with your wives or husbands, significant others, kids, friends, and you got this popped up on your phone. That would be amazing. I don't think many people are doing that, but yeah, it is quite the time to I don't know, just be out and about. Black Friday. Fun fact, I've actually never, have I ever actually gone out in the morning like people normally do? I don't think I ever have. I don't think I have. No. I have gone kind of later in the day, but I've never once woken up at 4 in the morning and gone out. But, you know, to each their own. If you're out doing that, hopefully you're having a good time. You can watch it on the replay if you are doing that. Derek's in the chat here. What's up, brother? Thank you so much for being here, Derek. Mark and the Funky, WordPress Bunch. You know what? Yeah, and I'm too young to hear that. I don't know if I ever actually listened to any of their songs, the Funky Bunch, but I've heard that many times. Many times. Waiting on the OnlyFans sale. Yeah, you missed it. You missed the sale. Sorry, Derek. That's it's only we keep that really under wraps. Really under wraps. But awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. Obviously, we normally go on Thursdays, but yesterday was Thanksgiving. Surprisingly, I did get a large amount of work done yesterday, which was awesome. But we spent a lot of time with family and everything like that. So, yeah, we are here on Friday, Black Friday. And if you guys are already here and you've already picked up some things, let me know what you got in the chat. There's probably going to be a lot of overlap, honestly. I mean, there's there is a lot of tools, but at the same time, there's only so many tools depending on like what stack you're using and things like that. I have some in here. I have at least one like kind of exclusive offer that I was happy to get for you guys. So excited about that if any of you guys are interested in. And then just a lot of thoughts. I'm also slightly getting over a cold, so you're gonna have to excuse that. But yeah, I'm excited to go through this list. If you want to just give a sneak peek, you can go down. If you're on YouTube, you can go to the description of the thing here, and you can see all the links to everything. I tried to make them all like pretty links off of my website, which is a separate conversation we could have if anybody's interested in it, because there's a whole methodology I have behind that, but it's still not fully fleshed out yet. So maybe I'll make some content whenever that finishes. But yeah, there's a whole thing down there. A lot of them are affiliate links. If you use those, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. If you don't want to use affiliate links, just go to the websites and buy the stuff yourself. Totally fine with me. But if you do support the channel, more stuff that I can do here. If we have money to fund this operation, we can keep making great content. So I appreciate it regardless. Thank you guys for being here in general. And yeah, we can kind of just dive into some things. But yeah, let me know if you grabbed anything. And yeah, let's take a look at the chat here. What's my favorite Thanksgiving food? I'm actually a turkey fan. I mean, I do like turkey. There was a conversation we had yesterday about turkey versus ham. I do like turkey. Like good homemade stuffing. My family is, quick aside, my mother was literally born in Italy. She came over when she was 7, so my grandmother's quite Italian, fully, obviously Italian. And always good food. So, I mean, even on Thanksgiving, even that's not like really like Italian food, it's always good. So, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. But I like it all, man. I like it all. Mashed potatoes. I don't normally eat cranberry sauce, just as a random aside, but yeah. Probably know Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, I've seen a lot of Mark Wahlberg movies. Fantastic. The Other Guys, great movie. Let's do it. Pizza. Yeah, we need some pizza, actually. Let's start. I like it, Kaif. Let's do it. Yeah, cool. Yeah, pizza. That's the whole list. Andrea's got it. That's the list. All right, let's dive in. What do we say here? I got a big list. You guys are excited. Let's do it. Okay. So, let me slide over to here. Cool. Great. All right. So I have a large list. Like I said, there's a list down in the description of YouTube if you want to go to the stuff and follow along. Here's my plan, though. I do want to go back here for just 1 second. My plan for this is I did want to say just a couple things about this list, okay? Like, what am I specifically talking about? I'm going to be completely transparent. I'm talking about products that I use / like, okay? There's going to be products in here that, like, sponsor this channel, okay? And I also, that they fall under that most of the time, like use or like. I don't just like take completely random sponsorships. And then also products that I really want to try. There's at least a couple in here that I'm like kind of interested in, and I haven't like actually fully had the time to go try out. So I would encourage you. Some of them have like free stuff, so I would encourage you to go check them out. A couple people reached out to me and said, "Hey, can you just show our thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So that as well. And then specifically, like I said, there's a couple of things that are giving you like an extra discount that I was able to work up. I wish I was able to work up more of those for you guys. I apologize about that, but I did get you at least one or two. And then the last note is, I know on the actual title of this video, it says WordPress like deals. 90% of them are WordPress, but where I'm at specifically, I think there's a couple other things that, we're in WordPress, but we don't only use WordPress tools. So I threw in some other ones just if you guys are interested in them, because they've helped me. So with that out of the way, let's dive in. Okay. All right, let's take a look here. What is the must-have plugins for Bricks? We're going to get to those. I would say, Bricks doesn't have, and I mean, we can talk about anything too. I'm going to go through this, and you guys have questions, throw them in the chat. I'll do my best. We're not just like going straight through this as the only agenda. If you have any questions, I'm happy to comment on anything. Quickly on that one, Bricks does not do Black Friday deals or anything like that. Also, again, we'll go hog wild here as far as like what we're doing. So Bricks, I actually went to Bricks and I was like, I have Bricks, I have the LTD, but I was like, do they have anything? And you say get Bricks, and then they have this right here. It says, we pride ourselves in fair pricing year round, so they don't do Black Friday. I love that they say that. I don't necessarily know if I fully, like, I agree with this, what they're saying, but I don't know if I necessarily agree with never doing like any discounts. I don't know. It's kind of like, there's arguments to or from, like for both ways. But what I do love about it is that if they're not going to do that, that's fine. They can have that, they can do that, take that stance. But I love this statement here. So like people aren't like asking, from a business standpoint, like aren't asking, if there's going to be, people still probably are going to ask, but the fact that they put that in there, I think that's a great idea. Must-have plugins for Bricks, though. I use ACSS. We're going to talk about a couple things here. I use Frames, Advanced Themer. Advanced Themer does have an LTD right now. Let me just go to that real quick. We can kind of start there, too, if I could type. Advanced Themer's been great. I would highly recommend you guys. And I'll drop links in the chat as we go here, too. But, again, there's a lot of stuff in the description. Advanced Themer has an LTD right now. I have the LTD. I can't remember what I got it at. It's probably somewhere around here because I think I got it last year. I think actually Maxime, brought it back, maybe earlier this year. I don't know, but it's a solid deal. Again, if you guys like LTDs, everyone loves LTDs. So, yeah, I would highly recommend that one. Do I have anything else that's Bricks specific? We're going to talk about other things that I obviously use with Bricks, but I don't necessarily know if there's any other like Bricks specific things. Guten Bricks. I'm trying to, like, I could just give you just random stuff, but I'm trying to also think of like anything that has, I kind of did a pretty good job at like, I feel like wrangling the ones that are pertinent that also have Black Friday deals. I can't speak. Guten Bricks is a great plugin. Brian is fantastic guy. He said that he's got some cool stuff coming up too, because I just spoke to him recently. I don't think they have a Black Friday deal though, if I'm not mistaken though. So, but they do have an LTD. So, again, yeah, just to answer that question, I feel like there's a lot of options out there. Already have Core Framework. Yeah, I've never personally used Core Framework. Heard it's good in many aspects. Honestly, again, like I said, Bricks is so versatile. Like if you layer on just like a framework tool and a library tool, like there's so much other stuff that you can do. Yeah, exactly right there. Yep. Is the occasional plugin interference that Advanced Themer creates worth buying AT? Oh, you mean interface? Is it interference? Interface? Or what are we saying there specifically? Am I reading that correctly? Is the occasional plugin interference that AT? I will say that when I have like an ACSS Frames and AT install, I'm not the absolute expert, be all end all of like Bricks development. I've literally been using Bricks for like a year and maybe about a year. I feel like I do pretty good work with Bricks. I like Bricks, but I'm not I would not say I'm an expert bricks developer, but I understand the capabilities and I understand how to do like most of the stuff. You guys can see the tutorials and everything like that. But my point to that question is that I pretty much started using bricks with ACSS. So like I don't know what the vanilla bricks experience is like, and then I layered on AT and it made something like a lot of things better. But I still don't feel like I know ACSS more than I know AT, but I don't know AT to like the nth degree, like every single feature. Um, and they don't. I'm talking about those two specifically, just because like people get those confused. They're not the same category of tool, but they do have some overlapping features and do some of the same things. And then also, the problem with this is that Bricks also has things, natively, right? That those plugins extend. So when I'm building in Bricks, I do sometimes get like, what am I looking at? Am I looking at a native feature? Am I looking at an ACS feature? Or am I looking at an AT feature? The short answer to that is if you build every website with all of those plugins, that's not really a problem. It's kind of a fake problem until an issue happens or whatever, and you have to diagnose like what it is. But if you're always going to have those on all of them, then it works. What you really have to do though, if you were thinking, I feel like about like having a conversation of should I buy like AT as an example, is you'd have to think what are your actual shortcomings right now with your stack, your brick stack, and think like, and then like have a conversation about like maybe what sucks, like if anything's holding you up or making you less efficient, and then maybe there's a feature that would help. I feel like it's just slightly more of a nuanced conversation. I would say it's worth it though. I mean, again, like I don't know, we're talking pricing, we're talking products here and everything like that. And as we go through these, I'll give you my thoughts. This stuff is cheap, guys. I mean, like it's like if you're making money, right? If you're building websites and you're making money and you're trying to price your stuff appropriately and you're doing good work, especially if you're an LTD person and you're taking advantage of some of the LTDs, which is a separate conversation because there's two sides of the LTD game. Like, it's cheap, like $300. Like you can make that back so quickly. You know what I mean? And it's unlimited. So those are my thoughts on that, but we can get deeper into it. So yeah. AT messes with ACS and frames sometimes. AT causes problems. I mean, I've never had any serious problems. But yeah. Does ACF Pro have a Black Friday sale? I don't think so. Doubt it. Does not look like it. Does not look like it to me. Wait a minute. Is this poorly marketed? Is it $249 and now it's $149? Oh wait, I guess it is. Okay. Well, I didn't add that. My bad. I didn't even think I didn't see anything about that. So yeah, here you go, guys. If you want to go to ACF, here you go. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So very interesting. Obviously, these guys have a lot on their plate right now. So I'm gonna cut them some slack. But this one line here, this is just kind of funny. Is there every other website that you're going to go and you're going to see here has like a huge banner at the top saying that like, hey, Black Friday sale. Obviously they have a different issue here on their hands, but it's just kind of funny because like I didn't even see that. I didn't even notice. This is barely even struck out here basically. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Okay. If you want ACF, I'm sure it probably renews at $249 because that's always what they do, but just they in general. But yeah, I mean, you could scoop that for $149 right now. That's not a bad deal at all. Again, I'm more of a jet engine. I have ACF Pro, but I'm more of a jet engine by default, which we can talk about more in other content because I want to do some more like kind of comparisons and things because I think it's kind of slightly misunderstood. But yeah, that's a big recommendation for me. I didn't even know that. Good call, Derek. Good call. Perfect. Sweet. Okay. All right, let's go through some of these. Okay, so the first one, Amber reached out to me. I put this stream out on, I just promoted it a little bit. Actually, forgot to promote it before I went live here. If you guys want to share it, that'd be great. But I just put this as like a scheduled thing. And Amber Hines reached out to me over at Equalize Digital, and I haven't used the accessibility checker that they have, but from everything that I'm seeing here and kind of the demos and stuff, it seems pretty awesome. There's a link in the description for this one. But yeah, I think if you go to Equalize Digital here, so it's like full site accessibility scanning without the high costs it's kind of our tagline. I mean, they even have a free plan. I ran out of time this morning because I was putting all these things together, but I was considering even like jumping in and trying the personal side of this. Um, I'm speaking slightly out of my depth here because again, I haven't used it, but I like Amber. I like what the team does over there, and I know she knows her stuff, so I'm sure this is a fantastic product. The thing is that anytime I get near accessibility, I'm just like, I know that I'm kind of like not an expert, so I just try to defer. And I will say that the one thing that I've used in the past is like Accessiby, which is not obviously anything similar to this. This is like an actual scanning tool and everything like that. But like there's just at a high level, and you guys probably know more than me about the accessibility stuff, but like at a high level, you have like those overlays, and I've just heard strange things about that's not really actually doing much. But then you have obviously methodologies that you put in place with just better building with better builders that don't have like, crazy bunch of code and doing different stuff in there. You have ARIA labels, you have like all sorts of like just best practices that you can build in your websites, which is kind of where I've tried to lean more into. And then you have things that continue to extend that. Obviously, WordPress is a crazy space when it comes to accessibility because there's so many different products outputting so much different stuff and people doing so many different things because it's accessible to build in WordPress. But I would highly recommend taking a look at the accessibility checker over at Equalize Digital if you have a ton of them. Especially, you know what? If I'm understanding kind of everything correctly, one way that I think this could be kind of really helpful is if you are an agency that you, because I know some people do this. I don't know how many of you guys do this, but if you take on websites that you didn't build and then you need to kind of like understand like at least where some of the pitfalls are and things like that, this might be a good concept. So there's a link down in the description for this one. And I think I have, let me see if I have this list over here. I can kind of pull it in. But yeah, I would highly recommend this one. Like I said, Amber reached out and I was more than happy to shout it out because I know they do great, fantastic work over there. So there we go. Cool. Derek's used the free plan. Nice. Sweet. It's good. Nice. Max, good to see you, brother. Thank you for being here, man. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Black Friday to you. Good, sir. Okay, cool. Moving on. Next one we got on the list is BigScoots. Now, BigScoots is a sponsor of this channel, so thank them for sponsoring. I personally not used BigScoots as hosting. I have at least one colleague that does and has sworn by them for, I want to say like 10 to 15 years. So the thing with hosting is there's a million and one options, right? And it's very hard to like narrow down like one specifically. I've used name.com shared hosting back in the day. Then I used Cloudways. Now I use GridPane. Just had a stream the other day because GridPane is doing some stuff. They're coming up on this list as well. BigScoots is solid. The people are fantastic. The support is fantastic. And the products that they offer, again, like managed enterprise, all of these hosts are good. They're like the differences are like kind of like what you need specifically. Honestly, kind of like who you're, I don't know, kind of accustomed to working with. Maybe there's probably other things like that because I'm not, again, not like a full hosting expert. There's a lot of other things that might kind of come into play, right? Because everybody's preference is different. So like, do you like absolutely need, I'm talking like niche things, right? Like, do you absolutely need like phone support or something like that? Obviously a big one is just pricing in general. Like what kind of server do you need? What kind of technology do you need to actually utilize for your clients, depending on what types of sites you're building? If you're trying to focus more on just brochure sites, marketing sites, or e-commerce sites, there's a lot of differences there. So yeah, I mean, again, there's a lot of different hosting options. BigScoots is fantastic from everything that I've seen and talked to the team. And then again, my colleague, like I said, sworn by it for like 10, 15 years. It's awesome. So definitely give them a check out if you're looking for hosting as well. And do your due diligence. I mean, again, like there's a lot of different options, and BigScoots is right there at the top. Surprisingly, I feel like not enough people have heard about BigScoots, which is interesting. But managed WordPress hosting. Also, real quick, because we did cover this in the stream recently with Patrick Gallagher, but like you guys have to understand. I feel like now, as we move into the next, I want to say like echelon or realm of like hosting, I feel like we're kind of moving into a new evolution of this. There's like managed versus self-managed. There's a lot going on there. So really start to think about like what your current setup is. If your stuff is like slow at all, like think about like how you can continue to optimize that. And I'm not saying just like buy bigger boxes. I'm saying like there's probably different options and um, different kind of like setups and like product offerings that may be better or worse for you depending on what you're trying to do. You know, if you're trying to host like 50 sites on one box, like obviously that can't really be done everywhere. If you're trying to do like more enterprise stuff on like, you know, like one box per enterprise level stuff, it's just a lot of different options. Okay. And there's a lot of, there's a lot of things to consider there. We can make more hosting content. I've actually got, some questions about that recently. If anybody is interested in that, I'm more than happy to, you know, give more of my opinion and my experience on it and explore it with you guys. Because again, I'm learning just as much as you guys are as we continue to go through all this. So yeah. Derek says, have you seen Kyle Van Duzen's Black Friday sale list or WP builds? I saw Kyle was building one. I don't know if I checked it out. Looking. I know you can't see it right now. Let me see. Where is it? Where is it? Black Friday maybe. I really do like the way that Kyle does it because there's a lot of good options here. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are kind of overlapping here. So we'll talk about a lot of those. But yeah, definitely a great list. I mean, there's an absolute ton of lists. I had this idea because I saw other people doing it as well, and I was like, well, there's a ton that we could talk about here just in the stuff that I've used. So yeah, definitely a good one. Email. I have to check my email too. Okay, cool. All right, lovely. Let's go. Where are we at here? Let me go back here. Okay, perfect. So our next one is Termageddon. Now, again, Termageddon sponsor the channel. I've used Termageddon for quite some time. And I feel like Termageddon is one of those ones where as soon as you hear the word policy and as soon as you get into that realm, you're like, what do I need? And then Termageddon's the one that comes up. There's a couple competitors, so to speak, but I haven't used any of them, and I don't really think they actually kind of like, you know, shake a stick at kind of where Termageddon is at this point. I mean, I talk to Hans at least once a month. I met him and Donata out at WCUS. They pretty much like live, sleep, eat, breathe this stuff. Donata is like all over the policy portion of it, like the law, you know, portion of it. She's literally a lawyer. And then Hans is just like running all of the business side of it and everything like that. And obviously they have a team. So yeah, I would just say what it's done for me is I don't have to worry about the legal stuff. You know, it's just whether it's a personal site, my agency site, or the client sites, I'm able to just kind of like just have them go through a questionnaire or me go through the questionnaire myself, and then it auto populates licenses and everything like that. They have a ton of the thing that I actually don't leverage enough through Termageddon that other people probably do, and I probably should do more of, is they actually give you. I've never actually seen too many companies do this. They actually give you the sales script almost to sell this to your clients once you're like kind of in. I think maybe I'm not sure where it's at. It's because there's agency partners, right? You could get this as like a single like site owner, so to speak. Like you could just get it for like $12 a month. But you could also get it as an agency, which is probably what most of us would do because we're building multiple sites, right? And then they give you like a whole thing of like, oh, your client isn't going to understand. Basically, they're going to say your client isn't going to understand why to get this, right? And then they're going to give you like, Termageddon literally gives you like an email script, basically kind of a template to like say like, hey, these are the reasons why. So there's just a ton of stuff. I mean, I'm not sure what there's a page either on the website or in the back end where you can kind of see all that sort of stuff. But lucky for you guys, Termageddon is a sponsor, like I said. And if you go to this link right here, they have some Black Friday stuff going on. Check that out because I think you can get 20% off with this promo code up here. You're going to have to double check to see if this is a better deal for you personally because it's going to matter depending on what you want. But if you go to this link that I'm throwing in the chat right now, then you can get 2 free licenses to start off instead of the normal one that they give to agencies. So yeah, I would highly recommend checking it out. Either going with this route or going with the other route to get the Black Friday code. But both of them are good deals there. So yeah, I mean, again, like I said, I have Termageddon on my website, my agency website, my client portal, um, all my actual like client sites. So yeah, highly recommend, highly recommend Termageddon because you need the policies. Because if you don't have the policies, then you might get sued. Derek says Termageddon is great. Max says, did anyone jump on the SureDash train? It's coming up, brother. It's coming up. The train is about to leave the station. We'll get to that in a sec. Let me know, guys, if you got any of these, if you use any of this stuff, or obviously if you jumped on the SureDash train or anything else like that. Let me know if you. As we go through this, let me know if there's any that we didn't that I didn't cover as well. Okay, next one on the list is WS Form. I've used WS Form I used it way back in the day on a couple projects, and then I rediscovered it for myself, at least my own projects, about a year at this point now ago. I'm going to tell you honestly, guys, like the thing that I've been so blessed kind of to have happen to me is I've talked to a lot of people on social. I've gone to WCUS. I'm going to be going to PressConf in April. If you guys aren't going to PressConf, you should be going to PressConf. I've been blessed to actually meet a lot of these people that have these products. Like they're actual, like not just extremely talented and smart, but they're also like really good people. And I love supporting people that are doing good work and trying to help people and obviously make money because, we all have to live. And Mark Westgard is one of those people. WS Forum has been very helpful for me. I've made at least, I don't know, like a handful of videos on just like random different things. And this is a PSA. Again, like there's a lot of things going on in this stream, but this is a PSA to you guys. If you have thoughts, if you have like issues that you're having, like there's going to be, for instance, an actual example, there's going to be it's escaping me. Somebody left a great comment, actually DM'd me, I think directly. And there is like a whole thought process that they had for a project that with WS Form and ACF Pro, and they basically just explained exactly what they needed to do. I'm more than happy to make that type of content because that is like any real world use case. You wouldn't think this is hard to come up with, but like it's kind of hard sometimes to come up with real world use cases for some of these tools because there's just so many options. I want to make sure that when we make content on this channel, it's as pertinent as possible to what you guys are doing. If you have a specific example, like DM me or like whatever, leave it in a comment or something like that, and let me know what you want to see because I'm more than happy to make that. I say all that because there's going to be a new one coming up here very soon with WS Form where we're kind of doing a lot of that sort of stuff, like checking for different values and things like that, recommending things. I have some ideas, but again, I want to make sure the content resonates with you guys. So whatever you want to see, you let me know. But yeah, WS Form, been rocking it for a while here. They currently have, I should probably do a better job here of like actually clicking on the the pricing and everything like that. I think I've forgotten to do that a little bit here. Let's go check out the Black Friday stuff. We've got a link in the description and in the chat. If I could just go, is it on the pricing page? No, that's just the regular pricing page. So use BF30. You save 30 on any edition. So 249. I don't know if you guys can see that. 249 goes down to 174, 149 to 104, and 59 to 41. Let's take a look here too. Let's see. Let's take a look at these. I have the agency one. The cool part is all of the integrations and everything like that, so that's cool. Take a look at the chat here while we're looking as well. Brendan is asking, can I borrow some money? Brendan, if I had surplus money to give it to you, I would. We're not fully there yet, but Brendan, you got a ton of tools, bro. I'm excited to hear your list on these. I appreciate you being here, my boy. Kyle says, my question, WS Form or Jet Form Builder, as I'm using Jet Engine enough, but haven't tried WS Form, does it have a good integration with Jet Engine? So the answer there is, like most things, it depends. So my trajectory with forms was, let's try to think back. I used Elementor. That was my first page builder. I use just the built-in Elementor form thing. Did I ever use another form builder? I used WS Form on like a certain project way back in the day, just a free version when I didn't even really understand the capabilities. Did I ever use anything else? I might have used like a Ninja form, like any sort of free form, like when I really didn't kind of like know the landscape. And then I did get Jet Engine. I got the whole Crocoblock suite. And I got, which is coming up here next. And then I was using Jet Form Builder. Here's the thing though. I feel like Jet Form Builder is great, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is very hard for me to talk about because like it's hard for me to actually say like one is better than the other, like without actually having like objective things to look at. I'm just giving you like kind of what I remember and subjective, but also it is very difficult. And I want you guys to think about this every time you listen to me or anybody else speak about this shit. It is very difficult to actually know and for me to speak about the experience that I had 2 years ago, like a year and a half, 2 years ago, because it's definitely changed, right? This is why I specifically never ever shit on like Elementor, because the experience today is way different than when I like kind of left and down, like turned down my Elementor uses, so to speak. I still have websites on Elementor, but like, you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to give you guys some inside baseball and literally be as transparent as possible with that. But that said, with WS Form to Jet Form Builder, what my experience and my subjective thing is, I would suggest you do more due diligence and literally try them. I know not everybody has a lot of time, but like I would say literally like try like at least the free versions and things like that. My experience is that Jet Form Builder, the biggest thing about Jet Form Builder that I've heard like people like or don't like, it's polarizing, is it's built. I mean, it was. I'm pretty sure it still is. It's the UI is the block editor, right? So it's like that is cool in a lot of ways, and in some ways I really like the concept, but in other ways, like people hate that experience. So if you hate that experience, then you're probably not going to want that experience. So that's like one of the things. Another thing is that it does, obviously, because it's created by Jet Engine, and Crocoblock, it is like tightly integrated with it for sure. But at the same time, I was trying to do a couple things at times, and like the documentation wasn't fantastic with the way in which I needed to do something. I remember specifically, if you're trying to like bring in things dynamically into like a select, right? You can do it. Like there's a lot of functionality, but I would say if you're a person that relies on documentation, I would give the check mark in that case to WS Form. If you're using Jet Engine to like the nth degree, if you're using Jet Engine, not just Jet Engine, because again, you can't say that. If you're using Crocoblock, every single Crocoblock widget, then you probably maybe want to go Jet Form Builder as well. If you're using anything outside of that, like here's another example. What did I want to integrate? Where's a great one here? Bento. I use Bento for my email marketing, right? Bento, I'm almost certain, at least back in the day, Jet Form Builder did not integrate with Bento. WS Form does. So you really have to, I think one of the things you have to do is you have to look at like the integration list as well. And you have to be like, okay, do these integrate with the things that I'm probably going to need for myself and my clients? I remember, maybe I should just go over to Jet Form Builder now that we have this question, but like, is there an integration? I know there's an integration list. There's like add-ons, right? Yeah, let's just look at this real quick, just as an example. I use like I said, I use WS Form, but I've used Jet Form Builder Pro in the past. Okay, this integration list, like I would highly recommend you look at this and be like, am I going to need more or less than this? Right. So for instance, I can think of if I need, you have PayPal recurring payments, you have Stripe. Like if you need something else, then maybe you're out of luck. If you need any other CRM, you might be out of luck. If you need email marketing, if you need Bento or any other one that's not here, you might be out of luck. There's some cool things here, but I don't know. It just depends on kind of what you're trying to do. It's definitely not bad. But that's what I would say there. Contrast that with like, the list that you could get over here. There's no answers to this though, guys. I mean, you have to, every situation is different. I do not want you to just look at what I'm doing and just blindly follow me. I want you to just, just take it, as your due diligence and watch other people and see what they are doing as well. That said though, and then we'll get, I know there's some chats that we need to get to. That said, like I said earlier, but with a twist here, if there's things that you want me to try and check out with other tools as well, I have a lot of tools. You know what I mean? Like I have Jet Form Builder Pro still with the LTD from Crocoblock. Like, I mean, I have, like I said, like I have ACF and I have, what's it called? If you want me to see something specifically, like if you have like an actual example, let me know. I would do my absolute best to either make a video on it with the tools that I have, or I might be able to, because I'm in kind of a position now where like I'm able to actually reach out to places. I might be able to get it and test it for you. But I do need specifics. I can't just like test the whole thing, because then what are we, you know what I mean? Like I want to make sure it's actually going to work and it's going to be worth your time to watch that. So I know we're all over the place here with a lot of this stuff, but those are kind of my thoughts. Hopefully some of that resonated. To answer the one question too that I absolutely didn't answer is there is a jet engine integration with WS Form. I use it. It works great. So yeah, going to depend on what you need there, but everything that I've been able to do, it's worked so far. So yeah. Okay, back to the chat here that I missed. Brendan, get in line, Andrea's saying. We all gonna start the pizza shop. Yeah. How's the pizza blogs going, Andrea? Are we printing money yet? I use a lot of query CCTs a lot. Okay, that's another good point. If you use CCTs, I'm almost certain that the WS form integration doesn't work with CCTs. I have to double check though. So that alone might be a reason to not go WS form, but I'm not sure. Also, did you say you're using Jet Form Builder, Kive? Because if you're using, again, I also want to make this point, okay? I also want to make this point because I try to be as realistic as possible here with you guys. If you're using something and it doesn't suck and you don't want to like, pull your hair out every single time you use it, probably not worth it to change. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not ever trying to say like this is going to change your life. Like some things absolutely are better than others, like objectively and make your life better and things like that. But it's also very personalized. It's very preferential. If your stack is good and you're just watching to kind of like check out different things and everything like that, I think that's a good thing. You always want to be like up to date on like what's moving, what's happening, what's coming. But this is more of a life thing. Don't get FOMO'd over it. Like actually be pragmatic and objective about it. Would be my general recommendation just across the board. So, yeah, I mean, if you're using something that works, don't like just jump ship and just try something else. If you have the time to test out other things, do it on the side. Do it on like some dev sites or something like that. I would think that's a good idea. But yeah, I mean, if it's working for you, but that is a good point about the CCTs. I thought I saw a thing in WS Forms support that CCTs is not going to be it's not going to be supported with WS Form. Could be wrong about that. Maybe that would change, but I'm almost certain that was what I saw. And it would make sense that Jet Form Builder fully supports that. So yeah. What do we got here? Signed up on Termageddon. Hell yeah, Max. Termageddon is dope. I'm very interested in the My Web Audit BF deal. Do you have any experience with My Web Audit? None whatsoever, Derek. I'm honestly not sure what that is. I could look that up potentially. Fluent Form can be. I don't know what we were referring to specifically, but I've also heard of Fluent Form. I haven't used it though. It's that time of year, and is the deal of the century, or am I buying shelfware? I am about to pull the trigger on independent analysis. Anybody? Independent analytics. You know what? I don't have any on this list. I'm looking that up. I don't have any. I've been the guy that just uses Google Analytics for so long, but I really want to use something else. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I want to use something else because not only is that I hold an opinion on Google Analytics. It's obviously very powerful, but it's also stealing your shit kind of at the same time, and it's free, so it's like there's a lot of like kind of pros cons types thing going on. But like Derek Ashar, we'll talk about Conversion Bridge here in a second. Like he likes Persh Analytics. I know there's Plausible, Fathom, and all that. I definitely need something else. I'm looking here at independent. 119 for one site. I know nothing about independent analytics, just so you know. I just got here, but this is another one if you guys want to go check this one out. It's concept there. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely need something different. I mean, so I'm gonna look into other ones and I'll try to update you guys whenever I do that. But I just haven't. I haven't. It's one of the categories I just didn't look into at all, and I haven't done anything because I've just been the Google guy for a while. But yeah, that's a good. That's another good one. I don't know. It's an interesting concept there. So where are we at here? I'm against it. I'm against it, but I have to use it only because of integration only. Okay, interesting. I see. I think we were talking block editor. David Oss, what's up? What's up? Derek thinks independent analytics looks cool. There's a lot of them popping up. It seems like I'm definitely need to look into it. Integration can be taken care of by a third party too if you're using it for something else. It always depends on the stack if you like or if you use it. Yeah, yeah. Highly versatile world we live in here. Luckily, there's a jet engine integration on WS Form. Open its dropdown. Yeah. I bounce from Fluent Forms, WS Form, depending on the project. I don't know if I wouldn't own LTDs for Fluent products. Yeah, see, that's the thing. There's a lot of Fluent stuff out there. I just have no experience with it. And again, if you have LTDs, it's like, you know what I mean? If you have an LTD, like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna move somewhere else? It's crazy. So, I don't know. All things to consider, guys. I know it's tough, especially with the GDPR in Europe. Interesting. Yeah. Damn it, Brennan. Thinking about my replacing my toaster that died. What kind you got? What do I have? Do not tempt me. I will give you an Amazon affiliate link right now. I got a 4-slice. You got to go 4-slice. For you and the lady, you got to go 4-slice. Or for yourself. I mean, I'll eat 4 pieces of toast. And I want to say it's a Cuisinart. I could be wrong. It's like one of them brushed steelish ones. Nothing fancy. Maybe like $30. Give it a shot. What about User Maven? Saw it a few times on Kevin's channel. But which one is better, User Maven or Independent? Hamilton Beach, Derek said with that. Yeah, that's a go-to. I've never used User Maven. Again, like I said, I haven't used really anything other than Google Analytics. I've seen the other ones. I know some people that use Fathom. If I'm being just honest, okay, just being in the space, I hear a lot about Fathom, Plausible, maybe then User Maven a little, and then like this Persh one's kind of coming up, and obviously Independent Analytics. That's what I hear. I don't have any other actual data to give you on that. I apologize. Have no compare and contrast data to give you, but I will note that because when I go in to try to figure out which one I'm going to go to next, I'll do a little bit more research and I'll give you guys more thoughts there. Derek must be a toaster or small appliance salesman, and he must moonlight. Oyster, Kitchen Maid, Cuisinart. Yeah, they're all good. Brendan, you got a lot to choose from there, my man. So go at it. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. This is I wish I had like a soundboard or something. This is a special offer for you guys I was able to get. So we've talked a lot about Crocoblock. I've used Crocoblock for a long time. It has saved my ass when I was in Elementor world, and it's made my life honestly a lot better in the bricks world even. And I do want to take a moment to kind of address some of the things that are interesting about Crocoblock specifically, and just some of the like random things that I hear. I'll drop this link in the chat. And I also want to tell you that I'm just gonna go through this process for a second. So like if you go to that link, you're gonna come here, and then if you go to if you go to pricing, and then you come down to whatever one you would want. I have this lifetime one up here, but honestly, like if you're going to build less than 500 sites in your life, maybe this is the way to go if you were going to do this, or you could do any other one, but I'm just going to do it on this one. If you go to like checkout here, then you go to, if you have a discount code and you enter my long name that I will post in the thing, and you click apply, then you get like an extra percentage off. So it was like, I think it's like total of 40%. And that is a specific code just for you guys because Crocoblock's amazing. And I greatly appreciate them. I'm going to say, I think it's 40% off. I really appreciate them doing that for you guys. Hope you guys appreciate it as well. So yeah, there you go. Use Mark Szymanski 40 at checkout with a coupon code. You get extra money off of that. I think it's any membership or any plan, regardless of which one it is. So, yeah, I mean, Crocoblock specifically, Elementor, Gutenberg, Bricks. If we look at this real quick, I use Jet Engine on every site. When I had Elementor pre-loops, like pre-custom loops and grids and all that sort of stuff, I used a lot of these other ones as well because it extended the functionality of what I could do because it came before they had a lot of that. I would use like the Jet Engine listing items and listing grids and all that sort of stuff. There's a little bit of a I want to talk about this real quick with Crocoblock just because I see it a lot. I see in all these groups on Facebook at least maybe like once, twice, 3 times a month, people saying that Crocoblock performance like slows down or they hear that or whatever, which is like a valid thing. Like people are allowed to say that. What I have personally experienced is the only time I've ever experienced that is when I was building back with Elementor before containers. So we're talking sections and columns before custom, before Elementor gave you the option to actually do loop items and loop grids and all that built in Elementor. It was like you could only choose from like 3 things, or you had to use Crocoblock, or you had to use like LE custom skin. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you're kind of better off. So it was a wild situation. I got Crocoblock, extended that functionality, and I was also building websites with like WooCommerce subscriptions, WooCommerce memberships, LearnDash, BuddyBoss, all in one website. Very scary, very crazy, very heavy. Okay. So I was doing all that, and Crocoblock was like handling all of the querying and all of the grids and all of the individual cards, so to speak, like the items, right? The loop items and all that. It got a little slow. Okay. Never once using Crocoblock for the actual engine, so to speak, like the CPTs and everything like that, the relations, never has it actually been slow. You could see it. It's in use on markszymanski.co. I use it in most of the tutorials unless I'm talking specifically about an ACF feature. I like it. I love it. It's been great to me. I've had the LTD for some time now. That's just kind of where I'm at with that. So I always want to bring that up because I do see it a lot, and it's valid because it's just the nature of where we're at right now with a lot of this stuff is the evolution from 3 years ago to now has been so crazy, right? Like everybody's moving to like bricks or like a breakdance or these second gen builders while the first gen, not the first gen, but you know what I mean? Like the older gen, like Elementors, Divis, stuff like that. Like they pioneered the way and they're catching up in a lot of ways. To some degree, obviously they're huge companies. They're doing interesting things and they know that they need to continue to evolve. I'm not saying I'm going back to Elementor, is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is like, it's very different now than it was then. There's more options and the older options are continuing to evolve, even though the problem is there that they have to keep that legacy shit going. So there's like a lot of like weirdness to it. But I'm going to tell you guys, there may be a day too. Again, going back to the reason I never want to like talk badly about these other products that I've used in the past and just don't use anymore is because there may be a day where like the tools that I use today are not the tools that I use later. You know what I mean? I'm just realistic in that way. So, yeah, that's just what it is. So let's take a look here. Max says, yes, people are joking that we're spending all the funds on software on Black Friday, leaving nothing for the presents for the kids. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. It's going to be a light Christmas this year. Holy UI design Batman. Are we talking about this thing? Are we talking about this one? It is a little wild. If it's these. Yeah. Crazy. I would buy it on the spot if I hadn't gone deep so years ago. Keeper. Yeah. Max says the only time Crocoblox went down for me was when the Ukraine war broke out. The JetBlog plugin wasn't working, which was understandable. The update was resolved even though the war was in turmoil. Yeah. Also, I mean, that's a real world situation that they're dealing with that I don't envy and I have a lot of empathy for. You know, they're based over there, so it's tough. But yeah, so, but again, team's great. Everybody that I've dealt with, and I've really enjoyed it. So yeah. We got here ACSS versus Core Framework. Which one is better? We talked about that a little earlier. I use ACSS. I've never used Core Framework. I know people love both. You guys tell me, does Core Framework have a library like with it as well? I mean, again, I'm trying to stay objective as possible. The thing I like about ACSS is that frames, if you want those two things, are kind of like a 1-2 punch. And you know that like the same team is building both, so you know that they're going to be super compatible and like everything's going to kind of just like work there. I've just never used Core Framework. Do they have a deal? I'm happy to take a look. Yeah, we can bring that up real quick. I know Core Framework does have a Black Friday deal. In the spirit of Black Friday, I know that ACSS doesn't have a Black Friday deal currently, but I do know that we're going to get something special if you guys haven't seen it already, because Frames for Figma is back. But Core Framework here, they do have a Black Friday deal. Again, I'm just out of my depth here because I've never specifically used this. Okay. Where do I go to get the pricing? Is it here? Let's see. It's damn cold. Okay, so it's somewhere in here. Yeah, it's somewhere in here. Bricks builder integration. Oh, do you just see? I've never even like thought about buying this. Like I've never thought about going into these different things. But I remember this marketplace. Okay, so is this different for each one? Interesting. Figma. Well, that's kind of cool. That's kind of interesting. You can like buy each one specifically. Okay. Oh, and then these are the kits. Okay. Okay. Well, it's a different approach. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah. I don't have an answer for you, unfortunately. I mean, like I said, all I can tell you is I use ACSS, but I would definitely look up Core Framework specific things and see kind of like where you're at there with kind of what you want to do. It also depends on like your probably a little bit to a certain degree, like what you use. I mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think ACSS works with more, right? I mean, I think they even work with like Quickly and stuff like that. Obviously, Quickly is a different story, but yeah, that would be my high level on that. Derek was talking about Crocoblocks. Yeah, that's a little wild, huh? Yeah, Core offers design sets. Yep. Perfect. Cool. Okie doke. All right, what do we got next here? Okay, next one, GridPane. So we did a stream recently, the other day. Was it yesterday? No, day before. Wednesday. So GridPane. There is entirely like too much to talk about. Patrick and I did a 2+ hour live stream. Let me see if I can get you guys a link for that. I guess it was like about 2 hours. Where we went over everything about GridPane, because I've been a GridPane customer for I think almost 2 years now. And there was a lot of interesting stuff that we went over. I would highly recommend that you guys go check this out, read the transcript, something like that, if you want to. If you're considering going into the GridPane realm or playing around with GridPane. The long story short, and this is incredibly abbreviated, is that GridPane is kind of getting rid of, and this is important because if you want to go here, GridPane is getting rid of their panel, Developer Plus, and agency plans that are like kind of have been the standard for a while with GridPane. If we go to pricing, these plans that you see here are gone. Now, these what I would classify as like self-managed hosting. That's kind of the way that I always thought about GridPane, but they're expanding into managed. They've already had managed offerings. They're doing a lot of different stuff. Like I said, you got to watch that whole live stream to get every detail. But this was more of like, I am on actually Dev Plus here. Okay. So for all my websites, that's what I've been hosting on. And the way that GridPane works, if you're not familiar with it to this point, is that you would get Developer Plus, Panel, whatever the core plan, and then you would attach, like you would go to like Vultr, DigitalOcean, whoever you want. You would get a server there, and then GridPane would kind of be like the hosting panel above that. So you could interface with it rather than having to go to like Vultr or wherever and dealing with it, or like command lining, anything like that. There's like a ton of settings and tweaks that you can do. The long story short on it is that GridPane has realized that not a lot of people, these aren't, the technology isn't going away, but after Black Friday and Cyber Monday, this page in it, as you see it here, is not going to exist. You're not going to be able to get these plans anymore. So if you want to have like that type of thing where you have like a server hosting panel situation with GridPane, then you're going to want to get this now. If you don't want that, that's fine. They're not going away. The company isn't like ceasing to exist or anything like that. What's actually going to happen is if you go to Peak Freak, I think Peak Freak is kind of getting like rebranded and evolved. That's kind of what's happening. It's going to be called GridPane Cloud, and it's going to be fully managed WordPress hosting, not specifically with Vultr. It's going to be GridPane fully managed hosting. They're going to have kind of their own like boxes and things like that. I'm still a little confused on exactly there's a section in the video where we kind of talk about that, but like they're kind of creating their own servers depending on like your use case and things like that. And it's going to be much more of a, like this type of approach where you're able to purchase, like you're able to purchase like a box like this for a monthly price or whatever. And it's just more of a managed experience. I was talking about earlier when we were talking about BigScoots, like the hosting world seems to be going more into the managed thing because not a lot of people want to like deal with all these specific tweaks and performance and optimize and stuff. And I'm not going to lie to you, I've been in the GridPane dashboard and I do not know every single button and toggle and everything like that. They're still going to have that ability, but it's going to be a little easier for you to manage, and you're going to have to do less work with this type of an approach. It still might not be for everybody. I'm not telling you to run out and get GridPane Cloud when it drops like in the beginning of the year, but I am telling you that if you do, and if you've been looking at this type of an experience over at GridPane, then this is going away. Like I know that for certain. This page is going away. So they're pretty much going to have two offerings. They're going to have GridPane Cloud and Bespoke moving forward, and that's going to be both of them are going to have like more of a managed feel than a self-managed feel. It's just a decision they're making. I tend to think that it makes a lot of sense for where they want to go and what they want to do. You may not, totally fine. Whatever you want to do, I'm just telling you this offering, this type of experience with GridPane is going away. Consider checking this out if you want. Link in the description. So yeah. Brendan's going back to ACSS here. ACSS has many features beyond the variables and utility classes, auto-var expansion, card framework, icon framework, etc. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. Faux show. You got GridPane, yeah, I'm assuming. Back when it was around $1,000, or did you pay more? I mean, it's quite expensive, but compared to the monthly hosting costs, it's probably still worth it. So I pay, I think, actually, why am I doing this? I'm like explaining what all these are, but I'm not explaining like the deals. I'm such an asshole. Okay, so if you go back to GridPane here for a second, like what I have is Developer Plus. So Developer Plus, I'm not sure what Get the Deal does, but it's like on your annual plan, so you save $1,500. What does this do? 35. So let me just take a look. So it's 35. So it's normally $5,000 a year, and then it's $3,500. Now you have to also understand, okay? Understand what you're doing with this. $5,000 a year, okay, and then 35. It's down to $3,500. If you go do this right now, it's $3,500. I think I got in at a deal at $2,400 a year, okay. So I pay $2,400 a year for this, which is just how pricing works, right? But you pay $3,500 a year now. But you also, again, don't misunderstand. Like that doesn't come with servers. So you have like that doesn't come with servers. Like that comes with just the access to the panel and everything like that. This is absolutely not for everyone. So $3,500 a year, and then you have to go pay Vultr, or that's how I'm doing it at least. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe somebody let me know. But I pay $2,400 to GridPane to have the access for the overhead and everything like that, you would pay $35 if you got this right now. And then you also have to pay Vulture or DigitalOcean or Hetzner or whoever per month. So I don't know what the other things are. I know there's some other things out there like Server Avatar, Run Cloud. I think I haven't looked into all of them. Okay. But those are things that I would consider. So this is absolutely not like for everyone. So just real quick, what do I pay? I think I pay like roughly $300 maybe a month to Vulture. So somebody do the math. 300 times 12. That's 3,600. So I'm paying about $6,000, I want to say, per year with my setup for all the hosting, for all the toggles, all the dials, all the support. All the monitoring that comes with GridPane, so that's where I'm at. Maybe that's not for you. Totally fine, but that is the situation. So yeah. But like I said, their GridPane has these deals right now. You can also get panel lifetime if you're an agency land. You can go agency panel. That's or agency plan, and they got a lot of different perks and everything like that going on too right now. So yeah, something to consider. Let's see. I got it for $1,500 and then upgraded $2,000. If you ever had it to self-toast, you'll never go back. Yeah, depends on what you want. Totally wrong and overpaying. Kaif, I am absolutely here for you to tell me what I'm doing wrong and what you would do instead. I'm always happy to be proven wrong. Let me know. You can literally host anywhere you want as long as you get root access and then a full Ubuntu image. That is getting slightly out of my depth, David Das, but I know that you can do that. Like I know that you can host anywhere with the custom server situation. So yeah, dope. All right. So next one, what do we got here? Here we go. Okay. Next one we got on the list here is Conversion Bridge. Now, Conversion Bridge, there's a couple of things I want to say about this. First of all, if you guys don't know Derek Ashour, you should follow him on X, and you should definitely take a look at this. I'll leave a link in the chat here, obviously, and also in the description. The thing I want to say most importantly about Conversion Bridge and Derek is that I was inundated on 2 different email addresses with Black Friday deals, and my favorite emails throughout the millions that I got seemingly was Derek's. They were 3 to 4 lines, and they said something to the tune of, it's Black Friday, you know the deal, 40% off. Okay? We don't need any other bullshit. I appreciate it. I love Derek. This is a great product. I use it on my sites. Okay? So it is what it is. I appreciate the emails. 40% off till December 2nd. Quick overview of what Conversion Bridge is. What I think is most important, we did it. Derek and I did a stream together a while back. Let me see if I can get that for you. He did a stream with Kevin as well recently. You guys should check out. I'll drop the link to our variant in there. Here's what Conversion Bridge is not, because I think this is actually probably the best way to, in my opinion, to express what this is. Conversion Bridge is not, you're going to see the word analytics a lot. It's not an analytics platform. It's not independent analytics. It's not Persh. It's not Google Analytics. It's not Plausible. It's not a competitor. It simplifies the tracking of all those things. I think it really, really shines when you deal with Google, because like Google is a fucking mess in there. The other platforms probably have a little bit easier ways to track, but they're also not like specific to like WordPress. This is a WordPress plugin, Conversion Bridge, okay? There's some really good demos in the live stream that I did with Derek and the live stream that he did with Kevin, where like within 2 clicks, you can have like a button set up in bricks where every single time that somebody clicks that, you immediately know that through like not just the WordPress plugin analytics piece of it, but also over in the analytics tool that you're using. Okay. So this is what you do if you go to Conversion Bridge right now. Okay. You go to Conversion Bridge, you take a look at this, right? You take a look at this integrations list. This is what I would recommend you do. You ask yourself, do I use any of these tools right now? Okay. Do I use any of these analytics? You have analytics on your website. Do you use any of these analytics tools? If the answer is yes, we're going to keep going. If the answer is no, then keep going, but think in your mind, Derek is more than happy to integrate with anything thing that you can think of, okay, that's not on this list. He will absolutely look at it. He will look into it. And the dude has already integrated all these different things. So he absolutely has the capability to do it, okay? So just shoot him an email from the contact. I'm not sure what it is on this site, but just shoot him a contact form email, hit him up on X. He's a great guy. He will absolutely respond to you, okay? So when you go in here, you say like, hey, analytics platforms. Am I using any of these? Probably. There's a lot on here. If not, do what I said. Then you think, well, do I ever integrate with any ad platforms? Maybe, maybe not, whatever. But do I integrate with WordPress plugins? Yeah, probably. Okay. So look at this huge list of plugins. Okay. And then there's more coming all the time, right? I'm generalizing here because all these plugins do different things. But effectively what's happening is that you can go into, like, again, I'll use the Bricks example. You can go into Bricks and it has a native integration with Bricks. You pull in like a button, you pull in different elements. There's now a little extra thing on the left sidebar in Bricks, and it says conversion bridge, like integration, conversion bridge tracking, something like that, right? And then on the bottom, you're able to give the element like a name, say like what you want to track, how you want to track, and things like that. And then you could pop a button on like a landing page or anything, and it could go do stuff. It could obviously still go to a page or whatever. But every time that button is clicked, then that event gets logged directly back into the analytics platform that you connect. And you don't have to just connect one analytics platform. You could connect like Google Analytics and Plausible or all of them if you want to or whatever, right? So my point is that I'm underselling this because there's so much more to it. Like you can track all the journeys and everything like that your clients go on. But the point is that without fully doing a whole demo right now, which I don't have time to do with all these plugins that we're talking about, the level of like tracking that you can do, that you don't have to do it like deeply in each one of these tools and learn whatever ones you're using, it's incredible. And again, it's not just with Bricks, it's all these other things as well. So yeah, I mean, I've seen it in action. I've used it for myself. I would highly recommend it. Like I said, Derek is a good friend, great developer. So yeah, highly recommend. Take a look at it. Links in the description. Go check out a couple demo videos, things like that. Watch the streams too, because that's like live in-person demos. And then yeah, definitely something. This is one of those ones where maybe it's a nice to have, but I don't really know of any competitors, truthfully. Like I can't really see any competitors that are doing the exact same thing. So this is one of the ones where there's not really like, you could just do all this stuff in your analytics platform, but you could also just do it in your website and then push to your analytics platform, and then it's kind of easier in a lot of ways. So that's what I would say. All right. All right, so let's see a couple comments here. Back to John, late to the party. So is Jet Engine as slow and bloated on Gutenberg as the haters claim it to be? I've honestly never used it on Gutenberg, so I can't really answer that directly. I can't understand why it would be. But I will say that I don't know how it's integrated with Bricks. This is such a, you know what? This is, again, I don't want to rant on this, but like it's such a hard thing to say because the way that people use Jet Engine is so different from person to person. If you're not using the listing grids, listing items, and things like that, you're having a totally different experience than if you're just using, you know, if you are. I don't really use them because I utilize the data, like the data architecture pieces, which I think are great in Jet Engine. And then I use Bricks to create the actual layouts and designs, and then I pull the data in from Jet Engine. That's very different than what I suspect. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe we'll have to do more streams on exploring Gutenberg. But what I suspect is that people are going into Gutenberg. Gutenberg itself doesn't have the types of tooling yet that like Bricks does, where you can create cards, loop everything really beautifully, and like have a ton of options for all that. So they're probably going to Jet Engine. They're creating listing items in Jet Engine. Then they're going back into Gutenberg. They're dropping a list grid block in, picking a loop item, and now this is where it could get bloated. Like I'm not sure. I'll have to test this. This is where it could get bloated because think about what you're doing. You're adding the core experience. You're taking the core experience and you're adding like heavy blocks and widgets on top of that, rather than like compare and contrast that with an Bricks experience. You're building the shit natively in the native elements that are tuned and optimized for that builder. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, it's literally just using like an add-on block, a third-party block, which you can't, I don't even know if you could really blame, I don't know who you blame for that. Like, I don't, maybe it's a combination thing, but like the answer to that question is probably Core should just have better tooling for that and integrate, just kind of like more how Bricks and these page builders do. But we don't need to get into that right now. So John, it's a good question. I don't have a specific answer. I'm just thinking about it. So yeah. Saha, we definitely. Well, actually, that's not really. That's a loaded question. Advanced Theme and ACSS. We talked about that earlier. I wouldn't say those are in the same exact product category. I have both, and I run both on the same websites. There's some overlapping features. Yeah, not really directly comparable. They do different things. Again, some overlapping features, but I use both, so that's what I would say there. There's definitely some other good content though, so I would definitely search that for that. Now that's good email marketing. Yeah, Derek, fantastic, unbelievable. Derek, sorry, Derek. That's funny. Conversion Bridge is a great liaison between analytics provider and website. Yeah, it's a great way to put it. Yep. David Doss said, yeah, they're not the same. AT is mainly extending Bricks functionality, improves builder UI, ACSS framework. Yep. Great way to put it there. I wonder how many people have a proper search in their website. Interesting. I think people have a problem distinguishing Jet Engine from all the other Crocoblock plugins. Yeah. So that's interesting. Morning, it's Black morning, Black Friday morning. What's up, Rob? Thank you for being here, man. Yeah, I want to talk about this. Yeah, just again real quick, like Crocoblock. Yeah, the it's just tough because like everybody says Jet Engine. I even say Jet Engine, but really Jet Engine is just kind of mainly the data part. It obviously has like components and things like that in that specific plugin, but there's all those other plugins that do pretty impressive stuff, but could do it in a bloated way because they're just heavy widgets that are on there. Again, I'll tell you, I don't really use a lot of those anymore because I don't have to, which is great. But if you do have to, or your stack is different, then you might have to use those widgets. And like I said, they worked for me as long as I didn't layer like 15,000 things on there. Also, guys, I'm going to tell you, because we talked about 2 hosting companies already today. Like, hosting makes a big fucking difference in what you're doing. Okay, like you can't just like throw all this shit on ass hosting and expect it to be good. That's why, like, you know, I'm fine with paying more if I'm getting more. I understand the global economics and everything like that are different everywhere. I'm not trying to be, I'm trying to be empathetic to that totally, but at the same time, just in general, like that's the reality of the situation. Is I've been on shared hosting, way back when, and it was not a fun experience. So it's just kind of the reality that like more powerful server, like a powerful server tuned more optimally as well, and you don't really have to play with it at all. So I don't know, just a lot of different things there to consider because we unfortunately and fortunately are not in like a very binary industry. I mean, I guess technically we are, right? But funny joke. But like as far as like actually navigating it, there's a lot of nuance. So that's what it is. Rob, I picked up the SureCart Unlimited Pro Plan and BricsForge. I have never used BricsForge. I will bring that up. I didn't know they had one. We will talk about SureCart. I just typed in BrickForge. It's some sort of Lego accessory company. It's pretty funny. BricsForge. Okay, it's also not bricksforge.com. So let's see. Okay, found it. It's .io. Great. Do they have another weird? Hang on a second. Let me slide over here. We'll do BricsForge here real quick. I've never used BricsForge. I know nothing about BricsForge. It's probably good. I've heard great things. They got a Black Friday deal though. Here you go. If you want to take a look at it, if you hadn't known about it. Starter, Premium, Ultimate, Lifetime. Cool. Some good discounts there. Forms, GSAP animations. This is not like an easy industry to be in, guys. Like, I mean, there's like so many different things that do so many of the same things. Everybody's really good at pretty much what they do. It's just kind of very interesting to see like all of the different things that you can do. I do not have BricsForge though, but if you guys want to check that out, they do have Black Friday deal. It seems pretty decent. I mean, getting some stuff off the Ultimate, and then scoop the Lifetime if you want. Yeah. Another one that doesn't have it on the main site though. It's just interesting. Just taking a look at it. Let's what we got here. I'm lost in the chat. I'm lost in the sauce. Now it's time Jet plugin should get rid of many of the useless plugins to have less product to market. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's an approach. I don't know. I think those plugins like definitely do help a lot of people, depending on which ones they are. There's some that are like obviously more useful than others, like Jet Appointment, Jet Booking. Like those are way bigger than like Jet Elements or whatever it is. I think they could combine some of them for sure. But yeah, I mean, even if you guys like just got Jet Engine, just that singular plugin, it just sort of makes sense to get more of the whole thing. But I feel like Jet Engine even like, I don't know. There's just a lot in there. I mean, again, they even had components before whenever. I've talked about this in many other videos, but the query builder, especially in Jet Engine, just understanding and seeing how things are built in those queries, I mean, it helped me tremendously learning. So I talk about that a lot in WP Dynamic.ooo, the course. So also, real quick, as I type this in here, I want to just thank you guys real quick, because if you go to WP Dynamic.ooo, the first video in that 5 free video series about dynamic data, over 1,000 views. So thank you guys so much for watching and supporting that. Really proud of that one. Maybe we'll continue to expand on it at some point. Max says CDN cache, ass hosting with Create Cloud Lift. Yeah. Definitely got to do something. I mean, yeah, even that. I mean, like, but I mean, even like the free plan of like Cloudflare, right? Like, I mean, that just helps so much, right? So it's just knowing those pieces, putting them together, making sure that you're doing some of that. And it doesn't all have to be expensive either. But you got to have something, right? So I have Bricks Forward since day one, but I have to say I did not find a use for it yet. What do you like the most about it? Interesting. I've been on so many shared hosts for over 25 years. Private servers are far better experience. Yeah. It's tough too, especially again. I don't know what your guys is, if you're live or if you're watching on the replay. What is your experience like? Just building sites for clients. Like when I'm building sites for clients, I'm like always trying to like manage that and control that environment. So they're on my servers. I'm building them. We're managing them. Things like that. But I know that's not always the case. I also know that can't happen every time, and sometimes you have to take deals that aren't like that. But like, are you going and putting them, like, do they already have like GoDaddy hosting or XYZ hosting or whatever? Like, are you going in that realm? Like, that's just not, it's tough from a optimization, like a performance optimization perspective, because now you have to learn something new and your processes have to change and everything. But not just that, like, what is that? How is that different with the tooling that you're doing? This game gets a lot easier when you have the same stack every single time. You know what I mean? On the same servers and can control more of it. So just my 2 cents on that matter. Do I check out Flowmatic, an amazing automation plugin? I have not looked at that. We can look at that though. I'm a man of the people, and I will look at different things that we got going on here. Do we have? Is there any? I don't know if this is, I know you can't see it. I don't think we have a Black Friday thing on here. Not that I'm seeing, but I've never heard of this. So, kind of interesting. It seems like an automation tool, right? Like a Zapier or like a, we do have Sure triggers on this list that we'll get to. So seems dope. I've never looked at it though. So unfortunately I cannot give you a heavy recommendation one way or the other on that, but Flowmatic, there you go. Take a look at her. All right, let's go to the next one here. This is a big one, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. This is a big one just because it's brand new. Literally today, I think like secretly announced and launched. Frames for Figma from ACSS, Kevin Geary, and Frames. Like the Frames for Figma product piece, the kit, the UI kit, is back. So basically the concept here is that if you want to have Figma and you use ACSS and you use frames, you can make that experience way, way better and way more streamlined, because the kit, like the designs and everything like that, like the layouts, they're like tokens, components, like all that sort of stuff, like over in Figma. You can create that shit in Figma, and then you can the way to actually like basically combine all of that is way better, and it just streamlines the whole process. My thing when I'm designing is I'm thinking like, okay, I don't really want to do it in a design tool because I am already on the website. I already have frames. I want to just pop these frames and everything like that. I'm not a designer though. For a designer, this is like a godsend, because now you can have everything completely cohesive from the design tool into the actual like dev environment. So, and I don't have much information on this because I'll tell you truthfully, I don't have frames for Figma yet, because when I got into bricks and frames and ACSS, then I didn't have, I think I think Kevin and the team kind of took this off for a little bit, and now it's back and better than ever. So, I mean, I just haven't had the chance to get it yet. But what I would highly recommend is you guys check this out if you use Figma. If you don't use Figma, then I don't know if this is useful to you. But if you do use Figma, or your designer uses Figma or whatever, then this could be huge. And again, literally back today. So kind of pretty cool. Yeah, $2.99 for a lifetime. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. Where's that at? There we go. Nice page. Andrea, did you make that page? That's pretty cool. Yeah. So let me go back to the chat. If you guys have questions on that, let me catch up. Oh, we got a lot of chats here. Hang on one second. Did you talk about CRMs? No. Quickly, what do I use for CRM? I've used HubSpot, obnoxiously expensive. I used the free version. Free version is great, actually. But if you need any more than like what that offers, then you're shit out of luck. I think Fluent has one. Never used it. I'm waiting personally on Bento to release their sales, like their CRM for that. If you're not familiar with Bento, it is my email marketing platform of choice. I'll leave a link here, but it's an email marketing platform. But in my mind, my email marketing platform, my CRM could kind of like it's pretty close to one another with like the overlap there. And I think the integration specifically would be really good. I mean, that's again what drew me to HubSpot. I wanted my CRM and my email stuff to be all there, and then I realized that it's expensive as hell and it's not really that great. There's a ton of other CRMs out there though, obviously. But again, I would go back to, it depends on really what you want to integrate with. I'm trying to think if I've tried any other ones. I tried ClickUp, and I know that's more of a project management tool, but it's funny because they market some of the templates as CRM templates, and it's like, you should not use that as a CRM. Absolutely not. It's not what a real CRM does. I don't know. I can't think of any other ones. Is Go High Level is a pretty big one, right? Yeah. I mean, if you have any other ones, I'll pull them up, but I don't really have too much other experience with them. So, Josiah, what's up? What's up? Thank you for being here. Brendan is BricksForge training. Yeah, Brendan's great with BricksForge. Definitely go check Brendan O'Connell's channel out. Nice. Yep, Fluent CRM. Well, if it's cheaper today, that's pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know how some of the pricing works on some of the deals. BricksForge, German developer Daniel De Ross, smart guy, a little shy, who just released a node-based programming environment with Bricks. Interesting, very interesting. Oh yeah, is it a different thing? Is the node-based different than the whole thing, or is it part of that? Yeah, I was a little confused there as well. Do I have experience with SiteGround? I don't have experience with SiteGround. No, I know that a lot of people, they were all the rage, and I think they still are with like a lot of creators and stuff like that. I've never talked to them specifically. I've never used them. I I'm happy to check them out. But again, like transparently, I'm trying to think of like what the like all of the hosting companies. I'd love to like get them all together, maybe do like a big roundup or something like that. That could kind of be kind of interesting. I would have to know, you know, this is an open-ended question just because we brought the hosting comment up. Like, what is the main thing about hosting that people are interested in? You know what I mean? Like, is it just price? I feel like a lot of times when I hear hosting conversation, the first thing I hear is like price, like what's good hosting for the cheapest. And it's like, unfortunately, that's not the way that my mind works a lot of times in when I'm buying something. But at the same time, hosting is one of those things where like there are hosting companies that have like feature sets, but it just seems like that's not where people just naturally go to. I don't know. It feels like they naturally more go to the price tag, which is important. I'm not saying price is never important. Yeah, price is always a factor. I just don't know. It's just one of those things. There's so many options, right, for hosting. So I don't know. We could play around with more of that concept and potentially some more hosting content too, because I know a lot of people want to see that. So yeah. David asks, I've seen Brendan O'Connell use it for a few things. While I haven't used it, I see potential for the future. What was that in regards to something? Yeah, Bricks for yeah, okay, Bricks for yep, yep. Brendan likely runs self-managed bare metal server.com. Yeah, I think he just has like he just has a huge rack, just huge racks in his house. I like that. Mark's Manson, we mainly like to host only if we build it, but lately we have been doing performance optimization and they get to host with us. That's a good way to gain clients. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. I mean, if you could bring them in too, like, I mean, you could say like, hey, what I love to do, you know, I mean, that's a great thing. It's like, hey, buddy, XYZ, you know, like company, like, you know, your stuff sucks. Like, we could definitely rebuild this for you. We can bring you on our own stuff. It'll be cheaper, you know, somehow like it's cheaper for you to do it that way because like we're actually gonna be able to handle it, manage it, and everything like that. You're not gonna have to be able to do anything. If you can take work off their plate too, it's just I feel like it's next level. Yeah. Flowmatic. I smell another lawsuit from it. Yeah, they gotta be careful. I don't even know if that's like WordPress specific, but he's not. He'll go after him. We'll see what happens there. Okay, back to frames for Figma. Bought the LTD a year ago. Yeah, yeah. So that's it's available right now. Frames for Figma. Definitely go check that out. Link down there. I think I threw it in there already. Yeah, if you use Figma, it seems like definitely a great way to go there. Where are we in the chat? I keep losing it. Hey guys, I appreciate all the comments. Thank you so much. Hopefully you're having a good time here. If you are, smash that like button. And yeah, continue. Let me know. I'll bring whatever up. I know we have a list still here, but I'll go however long we need to here. I'll eventually take the time to learn and practice Figma. I'm currently doing marksman. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. If I was more of a designer, I would love to be in there. If I outsource any design work, that might be the way that I would go. The disconnect of links popping up before you type them on stream. Yeah. Yeah, it's we should lower the latency. I don't know if we can. All right, let's take a look here. Okay, Perf Matters. So Perf Matters is the one that I use of choice. I mean, again, there's alternatives. I think I talked about this actually this was an interesting video because I think some people really enjoyed hearing the blueprint. The blueprint video has got a lot of engagement. I really appreciate you guys. I think I just put a link in there to a middle of the video. Sorry about that. But the blueprint video that I put up, what was it, like last week? It's got some good feedback. I think you guys really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. I talked about Perf Matters in there, and I talked about Perf Matters in a specific way too. I think we need to this has actually been a really good UI experience. If we do these headers up here, I'm automatically gonna want to come up here and click that. We should definitely link. I'm not singling out Perf Matters. Other people have done it. I'm just saying we should definitely do this. Like click to that. But yeah, so like Perf Matters as an example, or what was I saying? The blueprint site. So what I said in the video, and I'll echo here again about Perf Matters is Perf Matters seems like a great tool. I've used it on many sites. It's worked. It's worked really well when I've put it on like sites that I was talking about earlier that are like heavy, like using Elementor and all this sort of stuff, like legacy stuff, right? Um, when I when I've built brick sites, all the brick sites that I've built recently, I don't need it though. Like, it's nice to have. It's a good secret weapon. If the site gets really crazy, it's definitely good to have. And there's probably some things that you should have on just by default. But like, if you're trying to go for 99s, get it. It's a no-brainer, okay? But if you're content, like I don't even need to use it heavily on sites that I'm building with bricks. But there's a caveat there. You can't just layer a ton of shit on there and then say, "Oh, I built it with bricks and it's going to be great." That's not how it works. Okay? If we're being honest with ourselves, it's not how it works. We've talked about like things getting bloated 16 times now in the stream, right? If you do that and then you don't have performance and you're not doing best practices there, you're going to run into some issues. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have too much else to say about Perf Matters. It's a great performance optimization plugin. There's a ton of features in there. You can do things even like, I think you can even, what you can do, like load like Google fonts and stuff like that offline, I think, and stuff like, I mean, you can just do, you can do so many like technical things that you're like, oh wow, I didn't even think of that. And there might be some overlapping features with some other pieces as well. But yeah, I don't know. I use it. It's great. But like I said, that's been my experience where the sites are fast even without it, and then you put it on there, it's like turbo. So that's kind of the thought process there. Where are we at here? Let me get my list back up actually, and then also go through the chat. Have I tried Command UI? I have. So Command UI is an interesting story because I've talked to Calvin a lot about Command UI, and I talked to him even before it was released, before people knew about it. And there was a lot of buzz obviously generated, and then there's just like a lot of buzz as it came out and everything like that. And now they do have a Black Friday sale. So I tried. I don't have the current version, but the one that I tried in, I think did I try in production. I did it on a stream too, not too long ago. It was great. I mean, like I put it on my site and it definitely improved my workflow heavily. I was actually thinking about it yesterday, kind of like there's definitely certain cases where it would be absolutely amazing. I've always been a mouse person, so I'd have to like kind of relearn and keep my hands on the keyboard a little bit more. But there's no doubt that if I, dove in and looked at it, then I think it would be a huge time saver as far as like navigating and moving around and everything like that. And just moving throughout WordPress because WordPress has needed something like that for a long time. There are some deals right now for Black Friday that I would encourage you guys to check out. Yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else. I think there's Elementor integration actually recently. If anybody uses Elementor, Bricks is obviously there already there, but yeah, highly recommend Command UI as well. Calvin is a hell of a developer when it comes to that. So yeah, those are the thoughts there. What else we got here? Have I tried Kyle's plugin called Noted? I saw that, did not try that yet. Have not had the opportunity just yet. Command UI is sick for power users, bit overpriced for what it is, in my honest opinion. I've heard that. There is a larger conversation to be had there. And again, I'll be transparent with you guys. I currently am not a plugin developer or a product developer. I built and sold websites, right? But if I was going to sell you guys something, I would, like that. I just haven't gotten there yet. So what I'm doing currently is like really paying attention and observing the vibes and trying to understand everything about when new products come out, pricing, strategy, marketing, and everything like that, methodologies for how to market it, how to release it, pre-sales, those types of things. And I'm learning a hell of a lot. And the one thing I would say here, just specifically kind of on the pricing of Command UI, is that I look at the pricing and I don't think it's expensive. But here's the thing: this is a real scenario. Okay, I look at this pricing and I see $229 per year for 150 sites, and then you see like 13 cents per site. I don't look at this and see expensive, but there's a couple nuances and caveats to that. Like one, what is $229 to me versus somebody else in the United States versus the exchange or whatever and the actual, actual economics between like here and just somewhere else that I'm just not, I don't even know. I can't even begin to understand what 229 American dollars is elsewhere, right? So like, and this isn't singling out Command UI, it's just about this. My point is that when you're trying to do analysis on this, there's a lot of different ways to go about it. I personally don't see it as expensive, so I can't wrap my head around it. But at the same time, the argument that I can kind of see is that it is early, right? Like it's a very early plugin. It's great from what I've seen, but it's very early. There's more to come. It's like you think maybe it might get more expensive. This is again with any plugin. Maybe it gets more expensive. Maybe you want to get in more at like a founder rate. I don't know. Just there's a lot of things to consider. The other thing too is just real quick with just license pricing in general is that it's different depending on how many sites you actually have, right? Like, I mean, and how many sites you see yourself having. If you have a lot of sites, if you have 150 sites to put this on, it's going to make more sense than if you only have like 20, but you want the top tier. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We're just doing a random price analysis here and just random thought process. But yeah, I mean, I've seen the sentiment. I hear it. Yeah, I understand the argument. I'm trying to continue to always understand kind of the observations further. Max, can you name the node environment for bricks? Is that a separate thing or is that on there? I'm not sure. SiteGround's support team has declined due to the Ukraine, Russia war, and COVID-19. Interesting. That is unfortunate. Yeah, that is unfortunate. SiteGround is the best shared hosting that I've tried. The upgrade path there would be SiteGround, Cloudways, GridPane. Interesting. I heard shared hosting, and again, I just had PTSD from the days that I had shared hosting. But I've heard obviously good things about SiteGround specifically in that regard. Okay, John says, as a WP newbie, I am still developing my stack and finding all the competing components overwhelming. So all this is a big help. I like Cadence, but I think I want to experiment with bricks. Yeah. Well, welcome. Welcome to this craziness that we subject ourselves to an extent. I mean, how do I answer this? The first thing I would say is, I mean, you could this is obviously more about deals, but if you go to this link, I know there's a lot of links in the chat right now, but if you go to the link in the chat, you can kind of see or on my channel, like 2 videos ago, was my blueprint. You can kind of see like everything that I'm using. A lot of this stuff overlaps, obviously, but that's like, I kind of try to go into it like how I work. And obviously it's a bricks focus stack. I would then, if you did that, then I would then go to other people's blueprints and see what they're doing and things like that. I don't know how many people actually do blueprints that are, I'm sure some people do blueprints that are like cadence based and block builder based, but I just think I see it a lot more from like Bricks and Elementor and those types of people that are based in that realm. I think, as you go through it, John, like you're just going to have to think about like the things that you appreciate about each different types of tool. And it's not really an easy go. Like the easiest thing to do is literally just copy somebody's stuff and then figure out like copy initially. Very, very first thing you do is you copy. And then as you do from project to project or test case to test case, you have to start thinking critically for yourself after that, because you can't just copy somebody regardless. You have to like copy them and then be like, okay, that was a good place to start, but actually I hate XYZ plugin, or this doesn't do what I need it to do, or that is just like a complete waste of time for me to even go through the process of configuring it or something like that, right? So that's the way that I would try to mentally go through it if I was like kind of progressing back through, because there's just an unbelievable amount of overwhelming components. Like you said, like there's a lot of things that are competing, overlapping, and all that sort of stuff. I would again say, I know we're in the spirit of Black Friday here, okay, but I'm not, to echo what I said earlier, I'm not, and I don't want to instill like an insane amount of FOMO with anything that I'm doing here. I don't think that's productive. I don't think it's I don't think it's responsible. You have to be making money in order to buy shit. Like, you don't want to just buy shit. You don't want to buy an unbelievable amount of shit to think it's going to make you money. That's not how it's going to work. You need to invest in some tools for sure, but you can do a lot with this, with like you could do a lot with just Cadence. You could do a lot with just bricks. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go crazy. You could do a reasonable amount. Big controversy right here. You could do a reasonable amount now with just vanilla Gutenberg and WordPress. Way more than you could have like a few years ago. So depending on what you want to do, how you're getting your feet wet and those types of things, those websites might not be as good, as maintainable, or as scalable. And I'm not telling you to do those long term, but you got to start somewhere. So don't, I'm literally just speaking from experience here. Don't not do because you think you need to have like the whole fucking stack figured out. Like, just do something and you will consistently continue to get better, because the only way you're going to know what's good and what's bad is if you try and you're like, oh, this sucks. You know, like, you can listen to other people, but you know, that's, I don't know. I don't know if any of that helped. I just was trying to give you some of my perspective there. I just don't want to fall into the trap of being a jack of all trades, master of none. You know, that too, you know, it depends on kind of what you mean by that specifically in this industry, but I don't think it's a bad thing to like know a lot of tools. If you're trying to like market your business, maybe it makes sense to market obviously more to like a niche, but there's different ways to go about that as well. I don't know. I don't love the idea of always being like a master of one specific thing. You could, but you're still going to know other things anyway. You know what I mean? So maybe like lean into one. I do think though, I actually do think this, if we're talking specifically about the stacks, you probably do want to lean more into like one main stack. All of your other plugins could kind of like come and go, so to speak, and you can continue to do that. But like, you should like that's a good example. Cadence is block based, right? It's a block building tool, block theme, and then Bricks is a page builder, totally separate thing. So those are different. Definitely, maybe like, you know, pick one lane and then see if like the other lane is gonna like be better or worse for you. But I mean, I understand the concern. I don't know if that helped. John, switch to Bricks ASAP. That's funny. Good experience with SiteGround so far. Nice. Derek said shared hosting is bad. I mean, my experience with shared hosting is bad. Shared hosting could be like living in a bad neighborhood with sketchy neighbors. Yeah, I mean, noisy neighbor type thing. I feel like it's a concern. I'm not sure if it's different on like modern shared hosting though. I'd have to see. David Doss says every product launch should have LTDs unless it's a mature product and you're usually investing in someone's idea. Yeah, I think that's I generally kind of like that approach. I generally like that kind of approach. I just do think that I try to see things from both sides. I have LTDs. I love that I have LTDs, right? As a consumer. As a builder of a plugin though, I really don't ever think that I would like it wouldn't matter on what it is, but like, you know, to get LTD of like anything that you have to do heavy support for or heavy resource stuff for, that is different. If we're talking about command UI in that case, maybe you can make some arguments that it's not really like that. I've seen some of those arguments. I feel like they're kind of valid, but at the same time though, I personally, I think for the greater good of everything we're doing here, I'm not trying to like be a subscription like fanboy, but I also don't think that LTDs full stop are like extremely sustainable for a business to have and for a business to provide. I don't know if you guys remember. I mean, you guys should remember. I think it's interesting what has happened just in general in technology and in SaaS and whatever. Like when I don't even know what years because I'm 28, but when Windows was coming out with new things, right? Like, wouldn't you have to buy like 95, you'd have to buy 2000, you'd have to buy XP, and you only got it while it was in service, right? But you are still going to want Windows when, you know, 7, 8 comes out, right? So you had to rebuy those. It's maybe a bad example because it's kind of changed now, but like those things, like you only got those for a certain period of time. Like you didn't get that plugin forever. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like if a plugin comes out. I don't know if anybody does this model. It kind of be kind of interesting. Okay, you pay one price right now for version 1.0 of XYZ plugin. Perfect. You can keep that version forever for that price. You never have to pay again. But your license is only for 1.0 to 2.0. Like you don't, like as soon as 2.0 comes out, you don't have, like you're not going to get that upgrade. So then 2.0 comes out and you have to re-up. I'm not sure if that's like a thing that happens, but, and I'm not sure if you could really plan that out, like how well you'd be able to plan that out as a developer. I'm just trying to think of ways that like we can make good tools and also and keep people happy, but also not go out of business as developers and stuff like that. That's my thought. Lot there. Just some thoughts. Back to it here. Let's see. It's very new. It's a new view for BricsForge interactions like Visual Alpine, Unreal Engine. Nice. Let's dive into SureDash. Max is excited. Is it late where you're at, Max? Yeah, it's getting late. Okay. Real quick, the notion of shared hosting is bad is created by someone trying to upsell you better hosting. Not every instance needs a cloud. Yeah, I would say definitely there's probably some good shared stuff out there, but they're not all created equal. Yeah, so I'd say. If you put more than one website on a server, guess what? You're running a shared hosting. Yeah, exactly. As soon as I went to cloud stuff, I was like, I should probably just give these people their own servers, so less headaches for me, less headaches for them. Not give it to them, but put them on their own server. However, some shared hostings are crap because they limit resources to offer ridiculously cheap hosting. You pay what you get for it. Yeah, for sure. Each new product should have an LTD for plugin updates and separate support after your first year. Yeah, I don't. One thing with that is I don't understand what support means in that context. Does that mean like email support? I could count on one hand how many times I've emailed a plugin about support. Maybe I'm an anomaly, but my point is like I just don't understand what the value prop of support is. Does support mean upgrades, or does it mean? I think updates is different than support, right? So what does support mean? Because I get support is like a big drain, obviously. But is it a situation where you buy the plugin, you get the updates, and then support is like not the is like if you're reaching out? I don't know. Just random thought. Okay, let's dive in here, boys. What do we want to do here next? I had SureCart next, but I like Max, so we'll go to SureDash. All right. So we got SureDash here, okay? Listen. I gotta realign some things on my list over here. Listen. This is the SureDash link, okay? The SureDash link is in the description. It's in the chat here, okay? Very important. I have to go back here for a second. Very important. Adam told me to tell you guys this specifically, okay? SureDash literally released yesterday, okay? If you go to that link, you can buy. We'll talk about that in a second. I'm going to say it now. I'm going to say it more times. SureDash is in alpha, okay? It's in alpha. Do not go buy this and put this on production websites. I'm going to tell you why, okay? If you're going to get this, you should be in like the Facebook group and you should be in like the other channels and stuff like that, okay? You should be up to date on this. This is an evolving product, okay? It is in alpha. Do not put it on production websites right now. The reason, specifically, technically, to not put this on production websites, I'm not sure about the timelines. I'm going to give you the timelines, but the timelines are fluid. In a month, 3 weeks, a month's time, the database structure is going to be different for the shit that you do on this plugin. They're going to have custom database tables is what I was told, okay? Do not put this on a production site now, because if you update, then those aren't gonna get migrated, okay? If you're gonna get this now to lock in the pricing, which we'll look at in a second, then just do it so you can test it and see it, because it's gonna be a great product. It's already pretty solid, but it's in alpha, okay? So bear in mind, the database architecture is going to change in a month, so don't do it. Also, they said that timeline to actually get to production, like full production, is like 2 to 3-ish months, maybe 2 to 4 months or something like that. I was told like 3-ish. So keep that in mind. All right. so early 2025 is when you can expect to use this. But that being said, I had to say that, okay? It is in alpha, okay? Do not use it on production sites. That said, I do have a license, and I will, I'll make some more videos and stuff like that because I'm very interested in seeing what this is like. There's a couple other notes, okay? Let's look at the buy now section here for a second. This is basically a Black Friday deal because it literally came out yesterday. It's early access as a founder, okay? It's $3.99 for the top tier of 100 licenses, $199, $299, $399, okay? Also some other things like you can get in SureDash. You get SureDash Pro with events and resource library. I'm going to be honest, this came out yesterday. I've seen videos, but I don't know exactly what these all things are. I will explore them, more content. Make sure you're subscribed. We'll see all that, okay? But the other thing that I need to tell you is not only don't use this on production sites for the 18th time, is that, what was I going to say? I lost it. There might also be, if you're going in here and you're looking at it, it's an alpha. There might be some things like from when you jump from UI to UI and inside, like when you jump from space to space. Let me see if I can find a good example. This is kind of a decent example, right? If you're jumping from like space to space in here, there might be some things that like the interactivity API and stuff like that, like not fully. There might be some dead zones, almost like dead like white spaces or something like that. It's an alpha, okay? I don't know how many times I have to say that. So it's an alpha. There was something else I wanted to say. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it'll come back to me. But a lot of cool things. Oh, I remember now. Okay. This section here, you can kind of see that like there's a theme going on here. It has a circle vibe, right? Like there's like a thing on the left-hand side where there's like, you can log in, you can do all this stuff, and you can see all these different spaces, right? They're literally called spaces, like in circle. The thing that that Adam definitely, he told me to mention, and I wanted to also like, I think it just makes sense. You don't have to use this for like strictly a membership site. And I'm actually going to definitely probably create like some sort of content that's not specifically membership. Like I made the client portal, right? So WP clientportal.co, right? I made that like series with WooCommerce and all sorts of other like WooCommerce subscriptions, memberships, all that sort of stuff. This, you could do something like that just with SureDash and maybe like Sure Members and SureCart. So it's a different way to build it, but like it doesn't have to be a membership course. It could be anything that anybody logs into just to affect the experience and stuff like that. It doesn't have to have courses. It can have courses, but it doesn't have to. A lot of really cool stuff in here that kind of creating a really cool ecosystem for a lot of these things to happen. So yeah, there's a lot there. David Ross says LTD is not sustainable. But that's a good starting point to build a fan base, which in turn help you sell your product. Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. It's hero section inception. Were we talking about this? Were we talking about SureDash? Maybe we were, maybe we weren't. Not sure. The Pro ACF version fork shows that nearly everything is under GPL. Therefore, support must mean more than just code and updates. After all these years, I still find the whole thing confusing. Yeah, I would agree with that. Does SureDash have live chat? I don't know. Oh, well, when you say live chat, do you mean like a messenger? That would be interesting. I don't actually know. They better build that in there though, because that's really important. Like DMing, that'd be kind of interesting. Yeah, I'll have to ask about that. I don't think it does yet, would be my guess. But that, and I definitely want to make sure that I definitely want to throw in some feature requests for things like there's a lot of questions that I have around SureDash because where does all this shit get stored? Obviously it gets stored in your database, I guess, right? But like if people are uploading photos and stuff, like, there's got to be some ways to make sure that that's not going to blow the shit out of your site. But the other thing was the live chat. I love, as you guys know, I love like voice memos. So I want to be able to like respond with voice memos and comments and send voice memos via DM like you can in Circle as an example. But where does that get stored? There's a ton of things there. So I don't know. it's gonna be really cool to see it evolve and play around with it. But yeah, there's a lot of things that you could benefit, and a lot of different things you can build here. Max says also Circle or School costs like 99 a month, so it pays for itself in 3 months on a single install. Yeah, definitely. Again, I haven't dove fully into it. Like pricing wise, that does make sense. But again, I would go back to my question of like, if you had a serious membership site on WordPress, what does it take resource wise? I don't know. I'm sure they've already thought about that. So I will get some clarity on that as we go. Um, but yeah, I think I love the customization. I love the ability to build my own school or my own circle. So we'll have to see what it is. Fluent Members is another alternative to SureDash, which might be great. Yeah, I saw David McCann, I think, right? Put a full thing together there, so that's definitely a good one. SureDash homepage section here. Yeah. Kind of wild. Yeah, DMs, instant chats like Slack. Yeah. I don't know if Adam did a mistake saying that he used the post meta structure for all the things to save into the database. If that's true, it will get slow AF in no time. Yeah, I'm not sure. That might be related to the thing with like the custom database tables. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I know, like I said, last time as we move away from SureDash here, it's an alpha, okay? Do not buy it and put it on production websites. If you want to lock in, link is in the description. I'll throw it in there again if you want to use it. If you want to lock in, go do it. But don't put it on production websites until it's out of alpha and assumingly beta, because they are doing some stuff. But if you want to try to go play around with it as a founder, would recommend. Okie doke, let's keep going. All right, so SureCart. We are in SureCart land now. There's a couple Sure family things here that I want to hit. I'm using SureCart on my website. I love it. They just got the invoicing feature. They got 3.0. They got custom post types. Custom post types currently work with, I believe, Metabox and ACF. I am trying my hardest to get them to work with Jet Engine. If you guys are listening, Andre, Adam, that'd be fantastic if we could get that done. But with ACF, they work perfectly. So yeah, a lot of really cool things coming out of SureCart. I just love how much shit is in the main SureCart like Pro plugin. Like like if you get where's the well, also the Black Friday stuff here, obviously. The Pro plan is, well, it depends on what stores you want and everything like that. But obviously, like the Pro plan here, they have lifetime, they have yearly, whatever you want to do. The amount of stuff that's in there, the feature set for like, affiliate program, if you want that. Like I said, invoices, pay as you go, installments, like all sorts of stuff, like subscriptions built in there. You try to do that shit in Woo and you have to get like 17 other extensions. I will say that I don't think SureCart is for absolutely every single one. If you have like a very specific use case, and like crazy amount of requirements and things like that, maybe you have to look at WooCommerce just because the ecosystem is bigger. But there's nothing that I've really ran up against yet with SureCart that I was like, damn, I really wish I was using Woo for. It's just like, I don't know. It's just been really great so far. Clean, modern. I will say again, if you don't like the block editor, some of the checkout forms and things like that, they're built with blocks. I think it makes sense because again, like that's the thing that's going to be unique, or not. That's the thing that's going to be common from install to install. But it works with bricks. There's a native bricks integration now. I think Elementor is coming or is already there. I think it's already there actually. I think I saw a post about that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm using SureCart. It's great. I've ran transactions through it. I like the customization. Can't really say anything bad about it. It's awesome. So yeah, that's SureCart. What do we got next here? We got SureTrigger. So we're talking about that Flowmatic earlier, and this is kind of like I think another similar type of tool, right? So SureTrigger is actually, funny enough, I had a website that I needed to do an automation for to like set things as a certain status, like orders as a certain status, and I used SureTriggers, just the free version of SureTriggers, to do it, and it was great. So that's pretty funny that worked. SureTriggers is like Zapier, but more specific for like WordPress and like all the integrations and everything like that. I am waiting personally on them to make. This is actually interesting here because I don't think this is true. I just saw this right now. It says YouTube in these apps. I don't think maybe you can post to YouTube, but I don't think there's a trigger for YouTube yet. It can't be fake, but like, but I don't think there's a trigger for YouTube. I want to use a trigger for YouTube, like when there's a new YouTube video, like post and stuff like that. So I'm waiting on some things like that, but there's an abundance of integrations that you can already do. And like I said, it's more of a built into WordPress situation. It's its own, you kind of like manage it on its own like website on the SureTriggers thing. But you also sign in like on your website and you can manage everything like that. And all the things can take place once you integrate everything up. So, yeah, SureTriggers has already saved me, and I have a bunch of other ideas that I want to play around with there. So, more things to come. One of my thoughts on new pricing models for extras in SureCart. I feel like there should be another annual plan that includes all of the features without all of it without additional fees to the customers. Let me go back to that. Can I go like this? There we go. Let me look at this a little bit better because I looked at it and then I was like, this has changed slightly, right? But I also think I saw a post about that. So there's one store, there's 5 stores, there's unlimited stores. And I'm trying to think of where I saw that, but where is that at? SureCart. Okay, this is just let me read that again. What are your thoughts on new pricing? I feel like there should be another annual plan that includes all of it without additional fees to the customers. Is that true? I'm not saying is that true, but I'm saying like where can I see that written out? No. Oh, do we mean this? No. Premium support. I just don't think I've had that happen. I find it way harder to sell per transaction fees compared to monthly fees to high turnover shops. Are we talking about this though? Are we talking about the free one? Or are we talking about, because I'm not seeing transaction pay as you go for extras. Pay as you go for extras. Is that a different place? There's somewhere else. Oh, it was down here? Okay. Oh, subscription, sell, manage, retain, 5% on subscription transactions. Oh, okay. Interesting. Revenue boosters, affiliate program, licensing. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe. Yeah, I guess. Okay, so we're saying like this is definitely on every one. There's got to be a reason for it. I feel like, but I don't know the deets enough from just kind of seeing this here. Who is I'm confused on who is paying this, but I'll look into it more and definitely kind of think about it. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Well, well, at least this one, right? The affiliate platform. I'm familiar with this. Like how much like affiliate WP like you would pay if you use the payout service. Yeah, so like 1.9. I feel like they're probably lower, but yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't know. I have to explore that more. I have to explore that. But okay, so we got SureCart, we got that. Okay, so LatePoint. I haven't made enough content on LatePoint yet, but LatePoint is currently my form, like, or my booking thing of choice. So I use this for my I use this for all my meetings, for my like consulting media business here, and then also the agency stuff. Used to use Calendly. Calendly is really good as a standalone SaaS thing. It's not great for WordPress in my opinion. I don't like that I can't interact with it more from the WordPress side. I don't like that I have to embed it and it looks like shit. Like when you're like scrolling through questions and stuff like that. I tried out Fluent Booking in a video at one point. It was okay, but like I think that there was just kind of some things missing. Tamik over at LatePoint, which is also kind of like a part of the Sure family and everything like that with Adam. Really good. I don't know what else to say. I have to make more content on it, obviously, but it's been great for me. A lot of functionality, a lot of like customization. Obviously it's on Black Friday here. There's limited time like LTDs here if you want to get like any of these like on 100 sites you can get it for literally like what is this, half off? Jesus, 60% off. So would definitely take a look at it. Trying to think of the big things. It's really good. Like it's the best if you have like things that if you want to build your own booking system for like hair salons or like those types of service-based industries, it's unbeatable, I would say. If you want to do like one-off things, it also still works. That's what I do. It works great. It's absolutely incredible. I'll tell you a quick story. The first time I saw LatePoint, I didn't know what at the time, but the first time I saw LatePoint was like booking. It was booking golf bays, like driving range golf bays at like a driving range. Works great. Like it's just there's so much capability, so much things. There's like you can have agents, you could have actual services, you could have time slots. Obviously integrates with Google Calendar just like Calendly does. There's a couple things that I would love the team to add would be like Calendly has this unbelievable feature, so simple, so stupid, but so awesome. Is like it automatically blocks out or it has toggles for every calendar holiday, so you can just flip a switch and it's like okay, Christmas will automatically always be blocked off. Need that, but a couple other things like here and there, but like everything that I've seen so far and I've utilized, like I said, I use it on all the sites that I need booking for right now. So really liking it. Yeah, don't know what else to say. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But yeah. What about TidyCal? So I bought TidyCal LTD. I don't think I ever tried TidyCal. I tried I wanted to change from Calendly. So then I was like, let me go cal.com because it's like open source or whatever. And I was just like, this is fine, but it's kind of the same thing, I feel like. And I wanted something that was more integrated. So if you look on my website and you go to like book a consulting call, like there's like pop-ups, like it's a part of the WordPress experience. I think TidyCal is TidyCal also part of the See, I think TidyCal is more of this like a standalone SaaS type thing. LatePoint is literally a WordPress plugin. Am I right with that? With the TidyCal thing? You can do whatever you want. I'm just saying like that's to me the way that I wanted it to be, and I was just a little like OCD about that, and it's worked great. So that was my thought process on that one, but it's been working great for me. I think this is our last one from the Sure family here is Presto Player. Presto Player's been around for a while. I remember when Adam, was doing WP Crafter heavy, and this was like his first product. Obviously they have Black Friday stuff going on. I think I have the Pro plan right now. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it's Presto. I got it because I want to have videos on my website, and I want to have like really the thing that I love is like and you can see it on every single Sure site is this concept here where like it's auto playing, but when you click on this, it's not like the YouTube auto player embed where you click on this and it starts wherever it's at. It starts, and it can even have like all this other stuff too, like subtitles stuff. It starts back at the beginning, and it's like a really nice experience. There's also like audio players and all sorts of other stuff for Presto Player. But yeah, and I think there's actually new stuff coming I saw a post. I can't remember what it was. I know Presto Player is getting a revamp. Oh, it's getting playlists with the interactivity API. And then obviously all this stuff integrates, right? So when you're using SureDash, you can have Presto Player in there and just like a ton of other, really cool features and stuff like that. Really interesting, cool stuff. Obviously works with Gutenberg, Bricks, Elementor, everything like that. It's kind of agnostic. It does kind of like work with the block editor to an extent. So again, just something to think about. But yeah. So yeah, there's Presto Player. Our next one we got here is MainWP. I've been using, funny story about MainWP. I used MainWP at first, just a free version, and then I switched to Manage WP. Thank God I got out of there before, like, I don't know if it's got fully absorbed by the GoDaddy Pro thing or whatever, but yeah, I'm glad I got out of there. Went back to MainWP and have been using it just to kind of like, manage all my sites and everything like that, all the client sites and everything. And I do have the Pro plan for that. I had the Pro LTD. I think I did the thing where you can pay in 2 waves of whatever, like 2 payments. So what do we got here? Where is our piece of this? Yeah, does it show like the pricing anywhere? Yearly, I think it's like 50 off. Maybe it's like 150 a year. But yeah, I mean, I would even like say just like start with a free version if you've never used it, I guess. Um, but yeah, is there a way where it just says the pricing? Or is it here? I don't know. I think the problem is I might be logged in. So, but yeah, yeah. If you don't know what MainWP is, it's a way to like organize and manage and update plugins and do all that sort of stuff, like auto update and everything like for your site. There's a lot of other extensions and everything that go along with it. The pro version has some extra stuff that the free version doesn't, but the free version is great. And the big thing about it is that MainWP is not a SaaS. Like it's a plugin that you install on a site. You could install it on your main like agency site if you want. I would recommend putting it on a subdomain so you're not like hitting that site multiple times. Like people aren't on the front end, and then you're also doing stuff on the back end. I just have it on a subdomain, so like there's nothing on the front end really. And yeah, I've used it for a while now. It's great, and it does the job that it needs to do. Now, I think moving into the future, there's probably going to be more hosting companies that do this for you, like within their core experience of what they're doing. So if you have like 50 sites on a hosting provider, then like maybe you can manage it all there. I think GridPane is going to be starting to do some of that with what they're doing. But for the time being and probably a long time into the future, for a lot of people, something like this is definitely solid. I like self-hosting my shit when possible. So that's why I've enjoyed that. But yeah. Anyone have a stack for lead gen sites combining forms, booking, appointments, CRM? I mean, if you wanted something out of the box, I mean, if we're talking specifically on WordPress, like, I guess whatever you want. I mean, I think Fluent has forms, CRM, and booking, but it's clunky and does not seem scalable. That's interesting to me. That's really interesting to me that Fluent, their own stuff, doesn't really work like that. I mean, MainWP is essential. Yep, I would agree. It's solid. Yeah, just to go back to this real quick, like, I don't know, the Sure products have seemed really good. Like Sure it wouldn't have a CRM. It does have Sure Form now, which I don't use. I haven't used. Booking would be LatePoint. It's not like a one-to-one. It's not like a one-to-one, integration though or anything. I mean, for that stack though, it seems like Fluent should be the way to go. But that's weird. That's not. It seems clunky. That's kind of strange. Toby, appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, man. David House says, I got MainWP, but it never grew on me. I'm patiently waiting for new GridPane client panel, which seems pretty much like a replace to MainWP. I do think that it did seem like there was some overlap there from the preview that I saw from Patrick. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, I hope it's great. I don't want to necessarily have more stuff. I mean, if it had all of that in there, then it makes total sense to limit the amount of stuff that you have to manage and going on. So yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. There is go high level, but I don't know if that's so I love go high level, and that's the answer to so many things. The CRM part is clunky. Interesting. Fluent's good to a certain point. Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know. There's a ton of options. I don't know. All right, next one on the list here for the agency owners that don't know about this yet. I don't know how you don't. MonsterContracts. I'm going to sign out of this so I can show you the actual thing here. So MonsterContracts, okay? I am an agency owner. I still am an agency owner, even though I'm not like super duper focused on that part of it. Now I'm more selective in what I take on because this is better for me and I like it more. But this part of this is absolutely like I found out about MonsterContracts so late, and this is one of those ones where unfortunately I can't show you the product. And I've actually talked to Nathan about this. I can't really show you the product because if I showed you the product, I'd be stealing the product because it's literally like documents. Okay, it's a document for your contracts. It's pretty much like Nathan was an agency owner, might still be if I'm getting that wrong, but he was like, I don't have a contract. And he worked with an attorney to heavily make like a great contract that you can buy and then you can change however you like. But like it's so good, it's like I don't even know how many pages it is. 10, 15? I might be completely wrong. But they have a contract for like full like MSA for building websites. There's a part in there that's for that you can pull out for website management, and then there's also a contract agreement as well now. So, and then they have some other offerings as well that there's some spin-offs of the things that they're doing. But let me see if I can give you an idea. So Black Friday 2024. There's this description, or there's the link in the description in the chat, and then if you come into here, and if you come down to here, discount code, Black Friday, apply. So what does that go from? What is it, 239 to 143? So it's 143. That's what you pay, and then you pay 39 a year after that if you want the updates and everything like that, which come out like semi-annually, maybe 2 times a year. And it's just like updates the verbiage and stuff. You don't really need that if you don't want to get it upgraded. But yeah, so for $143 right now, you could get a solid ass MSA for your agency that you could tweak and you could take to your lawyer or whatever, and you could go even more crazy with it. But it is unfortunate that I can't show you because it would kind of defeat the purpose. But yeah, it's really fantastic. It handles all this stuff like delayed, scope creep, payment strategy, care plans, termination, intellectual property. Yeah, I don't know. So pretty dope. Pretty dope. Yeah, the pricing pricing is dope. Yeah, definitely. And even with the Black Friday thing, I mean, it's even better. So highly recommend. Like I said, I use that. I've used that on client projects. I still continue to use it. And there's a contract. I don't know if it says it on here. It probably says it maybe in, I don't know if there's a blog somewhere, but there is a second document now for contractors. So like if you're gonna the main thing is like with your client, but there's another one that's like you can get your contractor involved too. Like if you want to have an agreement there. So yeah, highly recommend. All right, so this next one is interesting because I've used Dynamic when I was back in my Elementor days. I used Elementor, Jet Engine, and Dynamic.ooo to spice it up and make things pretty dope. And I haven't used it recently. And there's guys like Dave Din, maybe Toby. I'm not sure, Toby, if you're using it, but there's guys out there that are using Dynamic.ooo now heavily in Elementor and Bricks and stuff like that or whatever. And I need to dive back into it because I didn't realize, I feel very silly for this. I didn't realize that like there's dynamic content for Elementor, but there's also dynamic shortcodes, which works with more than just Elementor. Because I figured like I kind of have to like lead this because like I was working with Elementor, but there's this shortcodes thing that seems pretty interesting. There's a lot of cool things you can kind of do there. So when I saw they were having a deal, I was like, it kind of makes sense to kind of shout it out because I'm pretty sure I have this already. I just have to double check. I'm almost certain I do. And I was like, yeah. So I think that there's something kind of interesting to go about and play around with this. I think both are on sale right now. I think these are in euros, but seem like pretty decent deals, right? What is this, like 25% ish off? What did it say? Up to 40 or something? Yeah. I can't speak too much to this. I know when I was using dynamic content for Elementor, it was fantastic. There was a lot of really cool things that I could do. Where was the... I'm just going to go back to this just for a stroll down memory lane real quick. What were some of the ones that I would use? I think the page to PDF one I think I used. I didn't even know they had signature. There's a ton. Obviously, it integrated with like Jet Engine, which is why I was using it. I'm trying to think if there was any other crazy ones. Crypto, I think I thought about that. It was around the crypto time. But yeah, I mean, just a lot of different like cool little things like that to enhance. But again, like the dynamic shortcodes thing is more interesting. So yeah, just definitely give that a look. Definitely go watch David's videos. And like I said, I think I'm going to be exploring this a little bit more with some of these. Amber, what's up? Thank you for being here. Yeah, guys, if you aren't familiar with Amber, talked about it. I think it was one of the first ones we covered, Equalize Digital. I'll drop the link in here again if you guys want to go check it out. The accessibility checker on the Black Friday sale. Definitely go give it a look. What do we got next here, guys? All right, rank math. Okay, cool. So, where's my list at over here? Okay, I'm getting out of order on my list. Here we go. All right, so rank math. I've used rank math. I used Yoast for a little bit, I think just because it was like the main one, and then I like heard rank math. This was a while ago, probably like 3 years ago at this point, 4 years ago. I heard rank math had more features for the free version, so I was like, oh, let me switch to it, and then I've just been using it ever since. I could tell you that all of these links that I'm putting in the chat here, these pretty links basically for some of the affiliate stuff and just to directly go to these websites, are actually the free version of rank math gives you like unlimited seemingly redirection links. So which is kind of cool. Like there's all these different like modules and stuff in here. That's just one of the things. Obviously, you would think maybe you would think of that when you think of SEO, but that's just one random other thing that's like kind of packed in there. So yeah, all the redirections for everything that you need there, whether it's you're trying to just do like redirects for affiliate links or anything like that. But obviously, if you ever like move, it even has something where you can like if you change the name of a slug in custom post type, then it can automatically redirect to the new one. I don't know, just really cool stuff. I don't even have the pro version yet because the free version is so good. So, but if you are interested in the pro version, there is quite the deal going on right now. At least 32% off the low end one or the lowest tier, and then 13 off the other tiers as well. I'm not sure if they ever had like an LTD or anything like that. This looks like this is monthly pricing here. Do they have? Well, I guess it's billed annually though. So yeah, something to take a look at. I don't understand the bottom of this page, but it seems pretty dope, and I should have gotten more information on it before I shouted them out. But like, I'm not sure. These are all like partners, I guess. Are these additional deals that you get when you buy this? Because that's kind of crazy. There's like a lot of different names and faces and different things on here that might be kind of interesting to take a look at. This list is outrageous, quite frankly. There's so many things on here. I'm still scrolling. What the hell? $15,000 allegedly. Wow, crazy. Yeah, so maybe that's enough reason to just do that. I don't know. I haven't explored that, but that's outrageous. Yeah, but I use it honestly, just main simple technical SEO stuff. The redirections are great. Yeah, so there's a lot more there, but again, this isn't a full tutorial on every single one of these things because that would take literal days. Okay. What do we got here? I messed up my list, so let me go back for a second. Let me try this link. I don't know if this link is going to work for you guys. I was getting some weird stuff when I was trying to do it, so I'm just going to go to Let me just go to it directly. If that doesn't work, I'm going to put the other link in here too, because this is just a fun one. It's actually kind of on the um, on the same in the same vein of what we were just talking about there with SEO. So I've used Ubersuggest. Other people have used Ahrefs or SEMrush or what have you. I had this had an LTD. I can't remember when the LTD came out for this. Um, can we get rid of the ad block? Thank you. So there's Black Friday offer right now for Ubersuggest. If you've never used it, it works well. I mean, it works well. It's I guess it's not Ahrefs or SEMrush, but if you're just trying to get into like and understand SEO, you can even use it for free. So that's the cool part. You can go use it for free and then you can see if you like it. I personally have the lifetime. I think I have this one right here. I think I have the 490 for a lifetime one for 2 to 7 websites. And when I say 2 to 7 websites, it's like, at a time. So like if you're not going to manage more than 7 websites at a time, then, it's not going to be a big deal. It's saying save 90%. Where is that true? Where I'm actually like super intrigued. What do you mean save 90%? Cuz like I don't know if this is he lying to me? Is Neil, are you lying to me right now? Cuz like this is definitely the amount of money that I paid. I'm not sure if there's a little bit of weirdness going there or yeah. I don't know. Kind of confused. Maybe it's like save 90% because of like the way it all shakes out when you compare all these things. Maybe it's just this is the Black Friday offer. I don't know. But anyway, if you want this, it's solid. Apparently, you can get 5 months free effectively, I guess. There's some weird marketing I feel like going on here, but the product in and of itself is pretty solid. I've used it many times for different projects, personal and client stuff, just to kind of get a feel and read on everything. I'm not sure, might have some videos on the channel, at least some live streams or anything, but if you just look it up, I mean, it's a pretty good, I would say it's kind of like number 3. I mean, it's, there's SEMrush and Ahrefs, which is huge, been around for a long time, but I remember when when Neil Patel specifically brought this out, and it was pretty solid. So I don't know, something to look in there as well if you are in the SEO arena, we will say. Okay, next one here, Affiliate WP. Now, I use Affiliate WP. I have the, where is our Black Friday deals? I have this pro plan right here, okay? Now, I'm going to kind of caveat some of this, okay? I have the pro plan. There's no reason. I actually, this plugin in particular is really, really good. And I think like it was like kind of the gold standard. It's gold standard for like affiliate plugins, seemingly, right? Like it's one of the biggest. It has so many features, has a lot of cool stuff. I see like a lot of people use it. The thing is, if you want the cool features, you need to rank up, right? This is one of those things where not just the sites increase, but also the actual things that you can do, like the add-ons and everything like that. And I wanted all these cool things. I wanted lifetime commissions specifically when I was trying to do it on the agency portal. So I got the big one. Okay. The big one is like, I'm pretty sure it renews at $749 a year. I don't know if that's 100% accurate, but like I think it renews at that price. You can get it for cheaper right now, obviously. And then, but I'm pretty sure it renews at, can I find that? Yeah, all renewals are at full price. So you have to understand that this is one of those ones where you're not locking in at 3. If you're using Woo though, I feel like this is a good solution and a good plugin for it. Like I said, I've used it and it's been solid. If you're not using Woo, then like SureCart has affiliate stuff built in. So it's like I don't know. This has been around longer, might have some different features and everything like that, but there's a lot of stuff that's already built in over there. The thing that I just can't get around here though is I could still recommend it for sure because I do use it and I do think it's good for it if you can stomach the price and everything. The trouble is I wish there was just a different way to purchase this because I think a lot of people are going to want just like one site with all these features and there's no way to get that. So I wish that they had something different there. I guess I understand why they do that, but I have a pro license right now that I'm never going to use 10 sites of because I don't build affiliate sites. And that's the case. So in my opinion, that's a little rough the way that is laid out. The tool itself is good and very solid, but that part's just kind of weird. So yeah, Max is back. Nice. Okay, let's wrap up here with a couple of last ones. I think we got affiliates, WP. All right, so these are the last ones that I got here, guys, and these are like non-WordPressy, so kind of interesting. I'm currently right now, as you're watching this, restreaming this via Restream. Inception. Crazy. So here's the link to that. If you guys do any live streaming, if you do any sort of like stuff like that, I would highly recommend Restream. I've tried to shape this product a little bit, honestly, with some of the features and stuff like I've done. They do have 50% off right now. I'm on the professional plan. I think it renews at like $490 a year, but something kind of interesting to consider if you're in this realm. I don't know how many of you are, so I can answer questions, but I'll kind of keep going. This one, Opus Clip, which let me get rid of this. This one is probably from a slight larger percentage of you maybe that you might be interested in. Opus Clip is, and also let me try to bring this up on a different thing here real quick. It's opus.pro. I'm going to try to, oops, there we go. Pause for station identification. Hang on. Let me just log out. Okay, Opus Clip. Cool. Okay, so now I can see these Black Friday pricing. There's definitely some here. Yeah, so there's like limited time pricing on this stuff. This is actually really cool. Okay, this is AI. Okay, so Max is excited. This is AI, probably knows about it already. I take my live streams, and maybe you've seen some of this. I take my live streams, and I can, with one like click, it goes in, and then it creates like a bunch of shorts, and then I can edit them, and I can do all sorts of stuff. But it basically pulls out the highlights, and it can make them, full length clips that are landscape or horizontal portrait, like for shorts and stuff like that. If you guys deal with clients or you want to do any video work yourself, this saves a shit ton of time. It's really cool, really awesome. Vertical video, short form video is very important. And I've just leaned into this a little bit more. So it's been kind of cool. Just wanted to reach out, show it to you guys because there's a lot of cool things here. Yeah. Solid affiliate is very good as alternative. I haven't used that yet, but I have heard of that as well. Max says, I found a weird encounter with the founder. I was checking out Analytics WP, then he refunded after some questions. He said I should never write again. I'm a friendly guy and no clue why. Interesting. Affiliate WP, you're saying? Or Analytics WP? Interesting. Don't know if we're talking about the same thing there, but that's a weird situation. Blitz it to-do list on right from Omar from Glorify. That's was that the one that is that the one that Lex had on his thing? Yeah, I think it is. This one's kind of cool too. Interesting. Yeah, I saw that on there. That was kind of cool. Dope. Awesome. Last one that I have here, guys, is the keyboard that I'm typing on and making a lot of noise. Keychron. Okay, I have. Which one do I have? I have the 80% something or other. I don't know. I just threw this one in there because like these deals are getting kind of cool with some of these things. Is this the K8? K8 Pro? Yeah. K8 Pro, I think. But yeah. All this shit's on my website. If you go to marksmansky.co/tools, it's all on there. I'm exhausted. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm getting over a cold, and there's been a lot of talking here. A lot of good deals. Let me know if you guys want to see anything, like I said, moving forward with any of the stuff. Let me know if you pick any of these things up. If you do use any of the affiliate links, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm going to try when the transcript is done on this video to go back and put some timestamps in, chapters, if any of you guys are interested in going back and looking at any of the things. But yeah, other than that, I got to go. I think it's been a great Black Friday season so far. There's been a lot of really interesting things, not just sales, but also new products, which I feel like is kind of like cool. Like it's like I don't know if that's like normal. I feel like I don't know how many people are normally releasing products, but we had SureDash, Figma for frames, is coming back and everything like that. So a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, yeah. Derek says, "What's special about the keyboard?" I don't know. I mean, it's heavy. It's like made out of like metal. It's very clicky. I don't know. They're blue switches, which like people don't like because I think they're too clicky and too typey. But it's wireless, Bluetooth. I like it, so just thought I would tell you guys. But yeah, Whisper Flow is so good. Okay, I heard you keep telling me about Whisper Flow, Max. Is that just like everywhere on your computer for the voice thing? Because I think does Windows have that though? Can't you just like, I mean, I know maybe not everybody's on Windows, but like Windows H. I got to try that though. Whisper Flow. I'm gonna look that up too. Sheen, thank you, Mark. Great effort, great info, great insight. I found your ACF's relationship explanation. Stay tuned. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Yeah, it's been great. If you're new around here, if you want to subscribe, that'd be fantastic. Like the video if you got anything out of it. Thursdays at 11 a.m. Eastern is the normal time. Obviously, today was a special occasion. Hope you guys grab some cool stuff. That's all I got. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, thank you for supporting the channel and everything like that. More content to come. If you have anything specific, leave it in the comments. DM me. Let me know what you want to see. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep making content about the stuff that I see out there and that I think people want to see. So that's all. Thank you guys.